TSF Entertainment.
And we are back at it again. TSF Entertainment in the building. Retro CG. I got all my brothers here today, so we're going to have a good time today. Joining us back is Jack of Jordan's back in the building with the fam. The real M2 is in the building. DJ Fresh Your Highness. And we got OG Bobby Jumpman joining us later on in the panel. So let's go ahead and get started. Fellas, what did y'all think about the episode?
I'm going to give it, I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10. Reason being is I expected to see a little bit more than, what I got. But before we jump into the show, welcome back, Jack. And happy B-Day, Mr. CG.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the $10 super chat. DeMarcus wishing me a happy birthday. No, I'm not on Hennessy Rita this weekend. I was on the Iced Tea and the VSOP. So, we have a little mixture going on over here. We got a little mixture.
He's spicy.
A little spicy over here. Appreciate that, DeMarcus. Thank you. Yeah, this episode for me, I give it an 8.5 maybe. I would have given it a 9.5, but there's some areas in the episode that I did not like, and we'll talk about that. Thank you, Cubstar, for the birthday wish as well. Appreciate that. Yeah, we got a full house today, so we're gonna have a time. Jack, what did you think about the episode?
I give it a solid 9. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think a lot of things came full circle. They addressed some things that I probably was a little bit surprising to me. So I definitely give it a 9. They're working on closing some stuff up for us.
What are you thinking about the season so far? Since we have a very shortened season this season, what do you think so far as the pacing and everything is concerned? That's where my biggest complaint about this episode go. I mean, y'all gave us a week off. We didn't need that. We didn't need a break for this episode. This episode would have been good for a normal season of 10 episodes. This would have been fine for episode 6. But for episode 6 and only 2 more episodes, I needed for y'all to go ahead and speed some things up a little bit because all this crying and whining from Stefano, I'm tired.
I think overall the season is pretty good. For 8 episodes for the final season, like that was discouraging. I ain't even gonna lie, I was kind of pissed off, and I was fighting the air like Trey on Boys in the Hood. But I don't. Yeah, but it's. At first, it started off, and I was like, "How they gonna close all this stuff in 8 episodes? There's no way. There's too many things that's open. Are are we gonna have this spillage over into the origin story or whatever?
Ooh,
That's the only thing that's discouraging, that it's only 8 episodes. But
yeah.
so far, I like it.
That's why I know now, since it's only 2 episodes left, now it's about to speed up.
I think
This,
they are going. I think they are going move a lot
yeah,
over.
it's gonna speed up. You got
This,
to at this point.
yeah, and they're gonna move a lot over to Origins. I do agree with that, Jay.
Nah, I think because Origins is based in the 2000s, so if anything, we might see a small link maybe at the end of 8 of maybe like he run into. Nah, because he even then he wouldn't be able to run into a young Tommy and Ghost because, like I said, it's in the 2000s.
I don't think that we're going to roll into Origins as far as a time jump. If we do get a time jump, it might be a few months. It may be a year or two, because at this point right now, we're in 1993.
Yeah.
We lose too much of the story to jump from 93 to 2000.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to have some other stuff that happens. I think there's going to be a slight continuation, kind of just like, remember when OG Power ended and Book 2 picked up? It was like 6 months after OG Power ended. I think we're going to be on the same timeline as Raising Kanan transitioning into season 1 of Origins. Now, keep in mind, season 1 of Origins is 18 episodes. So we do have time within that season to change time. But I think the aftermaths, because they're finishing up Raising Kanan with 8 episodes, I think some of this has got to roll over into season 1 Origins. I don't see how they're going to close up everything in these last 2 episodes and none of it not spill over into Origins. So I think a small bit of the story is going to carry over into Origins, at least for the first few episodes. And then I think we start, I think, me personally, and you heard it here first, I think that we will be introduced to Ghost and Tommy in episode 8 of Raising Kanan. You got to think about it. Kanan lost 2 of his biggest runners, Primo and Crank.
Yeah,
that leaves an opening right there for Tommy and Ghost to come in at the end of the episode of season of episode 8. That's my opinion.
So I thought about that, but my question being though, if it's so, how old are they in the 2000s then? Because y'all can refresh my memory. I thought they was like teenagers in the 2000s when they came up under Kanan.
I think we're going to meet them as teenagers. I think that we're going to meet them as teenagers, because I mean, basically right now, Kanan's a dropout. I mean, he's still 17, 18 himself. So if they're going to age Ghost and Tommy, then they need to age Kanan as well. Okay. And considering the fact that they're keeping the same character playing Kanan, they're not going to be able to age him that much. So I think that Kanan probably ages just like Tariq did through Power. I think Kanan's going to age through Origins just like he did, just like Tariq did in OG Power.
Gotcha.
All right.
Nah, my bad, Retro.
No, go ahead, Fresh.
No, I was just telling Dexter, nah, it can't be a time jump. That wouldn't make any sense, because as you can see, all the episodes have been following each other. And especially with Juke just finding out about Fame unaliving and stuff, like, yeah, nah, it ain't about to be a time jump. I can see if we was getting 10 episodes, we might get a time jump, but there's no way we get a time jump in 7, 8. If they do that, that'll be stupid in my opinion.
So shout out to all the listeners on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We appreciate y'all tuning in and listening. Shout out to those who are viewing us from Instagram. If you are not watching our reviews and our recaps, if you're not checking out our predictions, you need to, because we tell you what's happening in these episodes. Fact. They may not happen exactly in the very next episode, but somewhere in the season, the things that we talk about, the things that we see, the things that we predict, they come to fruition. So we watch this as viewers just like everyone else, but then we also watch it from a critic standpoint. So we follow the writing, and what makes sense for the writing is what leads our predictions. So if you ain't paying attention, you better, because we tell you this not only on this show, but we're going to tell you what's happening in X-Men 97, Cross, any of the shows that we review, and we're going to tell you what we foresee happening in the next upcoming episode or episodes to come. So y'all need to be checking us out because we be spot on.
Yep. Go back and watch that prediction video. We was 4 for
Definitely.
4. 4 for 4. We ain't get
4 for
everything,
4.
but we was 4 for 4.
And I said it off camera. It was so funny because we was in the group chat talking the other day, and I was telling y'all I got a feeling that Captain Baptiste is working for Bonnie and Clyde, Snaps and Pop, and I'll be damned. Here he is.
Yep.
All right, so we got lots to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump on into the review and recap. Fresh, I'm sorry, I don't think I gave you an opportunity to rate the episode. What did you think?
Oh no, it's all good. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with like between like you and him too, like 7.5, 8. Only because, like I said, you can just tell like it's almost like a little bit of the episode slow, then it get fast.
Exactly. It's
like they like near the end, it's like they just sped it up real quick to try to hurry up and put everything up into
a throw up
episode. Yep.
A throw up. Yep. All right, episode synopsis. Kanan and Jarita's relationship takes a turn. Garcia makes a bold move to get Juke her answers. Y'all know I love me some Rock. Y'all know I go up for Rock. But at this point, Rock, it's time to go home. It's time to go home. If you need help, I'm going to come on to New York and help you pack. We're going to get you to North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. We're going to get you far, far away from New York right now. Because at this point, Rock, it's time for you to pack it up and go home.
This man that bought Rock a U-Haul and everything.
I got a U-Haul ready for her. It's gassed up. I'm finna come help her. We're going to pack up whatever little work you got left, Rock, and we're going to bring it on to wherever we going. But we need to get you up out of New York at this point, Rock. It's time to go. It's time to go. Everything is falling apart. And then going back to what we were talking about earlier, with only 2 episodes left in the series, this episode seemed much of a slow burn for us, for it to be on its final hours. Yeah. We need to be knocking some of these chess pieces over or off the board. And at this point, we know that it's leading to an inevitable confrontation between Rock and Kanan. So you have to ask yourself, how is this going to turn out? Is either Rock and Kanan going to make a truce, and we know that Rock doesn't take out Kanan. So we have to ask ourselves this question: is it that Kanan's going to take out Rock? How does the story end for Rock, or does it end in raising Kanan, or does her story end in Origins? They might be keeping that tight lip. Me personally, I think her and Marvin, or at least the characters, move over into Origins. Marvin, we might see conclusion to his character per se, but I think we're still going to deal with the aftermath of whatever his conclusion is in Origins, whether it's him going to jail or him being unalive. Exactly, that part. At this point, I hope it is jail. But at the same time, I kind of almost want it to be, I'll get to that theory in a little bit. All right, so Marvin went right to Rock to get the truth of the matter between what happened with Lou and his unaliving. They gave us, well, we'll get to that a little bit later. Marvin does ask Rock, now, was it an accident or not? What I would have liked to have seen for that question, what led him to ask that question? Yeah. Did he get that from Jukebox? Because he didn't get that from Kanan, because Kanan didn't give a chance to even respond to that ass whooping he got. So that man didn't even get to say, oh, yo, Uncle Marvin, wait. That man didn't get to say nothing. His whole face shut up.
Like Martin after Tommy Hearn.
Exactly, yo.
I don't think he got it from Juke either.
Nah, I mean, it could have been, because remember, he was about to take Kanan out and Juke stopped him. So, I mean, maybe it was one of them off-screen joints.
I think that's what made him ask, though. You know what I'm saying? Because he mentioned in his thing that if it wasn't for Juke, he would be out of here. Like, I was going to unalive him.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Juke didn't know what happened either. So she couldn't have told Marvin that it was an accident, because she got questions that need answers too.
I think that's what really has him asking those questions. Like, he know the who now, so now it's a matter of why it happened.
You know, I wasn't fully sure Rock was going to be fully honest with Marvin about Lulu's death, but she did tell him the truth and I found that a little bit interesting.
She still
But
omitted details.
what details did she omit?
She didn't tell him it happened in the dining room.
Well, I think when they're sitting in the dining room, that goes back to my earlier point about what led Marvin to ask her, was it an accident or not? They were sitting in the dining room. The camera pans to the area where Lou got shot at. So I'm assuming that off camera, Rock may have told him what happened and where it happened at, because they're actually sitting in the dining room. Remember in the last episode when they were sitting in the dining room, she had to get up out of there because of the memories.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that that's what led them to have this conversation there that day. So I may have just answered my own question, I guess. At the end of the day, Marvin is upset with Rock because of how she handled the situation. He tells her, as usual, you're protecting Kanan. As usual, you've made a mess out of the situation. And he even reminds her that, remember when we took our brother to the rehab center, he begged us not to leave him out in the middle of nowhere. He thought we was going to put him down. He begged us not to leave him out there. And you go dump him side the road like a piece of trash. And Rock's response to that was, she panicked. She didn't know what to do. Marvin said, nah, you knew exactly what you were doing. As usual, per the usual, you were covering for Kanan. Rock could have done a better, even though she told the truth, she could have done a better job tying it all together for Marvin. Like, Kanan came over here on some, thinking that I put Famous down and Crystal down. He upped on me. And right when he was getting ready to pull the trigger, Lou and what was the bodyguard name?
I forgot the bodyguard name.
I forgot the bodyguard
name. His name either.
DeMarcus is gonna tell us what his name was. Lou and the bodyguard came in, and the bodyguard pulled on Kanan, and Lou stopped him from shooting Kanan, and that's what caused Kanan to turn around, make a nervous reaction, and pull the trigger. She should have also went further to say that Kanan showed no remorse after the fact. Like, the reason why she told him, the reason why she did, there was no discussion. There was no discussion about, don't say nothing to nobody about this, I'm going to cover this up. There was no discussion between Kanan and Rock that led to that conclusion. Rock did that because she was shook in the moment. So I agree with her when she says that she didn't really know what to do, because at the end of the day, it's her son that just put down her baby brother. That was a lot to process in the moment. And then knowing how Marvin is going to react to this, knowing that she's going to have to be the one to tell everyone that it was Kanan that put Lou down, she had no choice but to kind of put some distance between this until she could figure it out. Yeah. I think that the situation could have been handled differently if Kanan would have showed some remorse. When Kanan didn't show any remorse about the situation and wasn't apologetic about it at all, you can't blame that on Rock. You can't blame it on Rock, because Kanan could have came forward and told everyone on his own what happened. But you sit up there at the funeral, you cold-hearted. Juke came over there. You had the opportunity to come clean with Juke if you didn't come clean with anyone else. When Juke came over there to tell you about what happened, and you was like, oh, shit happens every day. So I know everybody want to point the finger at Rock, but this is not Rock's fault. Rock didn't create this situation. Kanan did when he came over there with false information from Bonnie and Clyde that Rock had put down his loved ones. Now all of a sudden you don't care about none of that. You don't care about Famous getting put down no more. You don't care about Crystal anymore. It's like, but those were the things that led you at the beginning of the season to go put Rock down. But now all of a sudden, fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
So Marvin also tells her that, you know what? Juke stopped me from beating that boy to death, and I should have put him down. And of course, Rock says, what, you want me to sanction that? What, you want me to approve of that? You want me to agree to that shit? She was like, he's my son. And at the end of the day, everyone always talks shit about Rock and all her faults. But one thing I don't hear people talking about is the fact that no matter how fractured her relationship is with Kanan, she still shows up for him as a mother. And a mother, when I say a mother, is her protecting her child. Whether he's right, wrong, or indifferent, she always stand behind him, and she always try to protect him, even from the rest of the family. To her fault, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of Rock's faults come from her always covering for Kanan. When she should have let Kanan take accountability for his actions way back when he put not D-Wiz, but Buck 20 down. You know? So she's been covering for him for every little thing that he does that mess up something. Just like she covered up that work the dirty work he put out on the street and unalive all those people. So I mean, Kanan's is just as much at fault for his actions as Rock's is for hers.
That's what Pino told her though. Last
Mm-hmm.
he told her like, hey, sometimes you may have to that hard discipline is needed.
I agree with that with the $5 super chat from Demarcus. Rock is very unhinged and she's losing control. She's lost control at this point. She's been lost control. She's been out of control since the end of last season.
How's she a rat? She ain't told nobody.
Yeah, I don't know why Demarcus always. I guess because she started out as a CI for Howard, so I guess that's what. And then she told on Unique, but that was on some. That wasn't on some snitching stuff. That was on some strategy stuff.
Yeah.
She was eliminating Unique as a threat. Yes, so she could take over the area, or whatever.
Dexter, no respect. I think I'm from how I perceived it. Why they haven't explained why he's moved on. I just perceived it as now that it's his ego, which later in the scene, and when we get to the scene, I'll kind of piggyback off of it. It was a certain scene, but I think it's just more so like it's his ego now, but now that he with
I agree
Breeze
with
in his
that.
head and snaps and
Snap and
pop.
pop.
Yeah,
Yep.
he like I don't even care about that no more. I'm getting money. But it's a certain scene from this episode that kind of somewhat touched on it, and I'll revisit back on it once we get to that scene.
I do agree with your comment as well, Dexter, that Rock has been cleaning mess for too long because it's not just Kanan's mess that she's had to clean. She's
Everybody.
she's had to clean
Marvin.
Blue's mess, Marvin, yes. So she's had a lot of mess, and include some of her own that she created. She's had to do a lot of housekeeping for that. So where Rock went wrong in this conversation, in my opinion, where she went wrong in this conversation is she did it before too. She instantly started talking about the business and what the business needs. I get that the business needs to keep going. I get that part, but not in this moment, not at this time. Right now, your brother is struggling with this, and you need to be a little bit apologetic to Marvin because you sent Marvin out here on a wild goose chase, running down Unique. Marvin could have got unalive behind all this, running behind Unique in these streets, giving out money, trying to find Unique, putting down anyone that stood in his way to try to get to Unique, knowing that it wasn't Unique that was involved in this. So you need to clean up some of that and repair some of the damage that you've done with Marvin, because you see Marvin has been having a hard time processing this. But for you to jump to Joaquin getting put down and they got to figure out what to do about this work, that wasn't the time or the place for that. That was not
He
the
said it
time.
with Pino though, right? Like when she was talking to Pino, she just said the biggest thing is her staying focused on the business. That's kind of like her therapy kind of. Yeah, it's just not ideal,
It's not.
but
So Jack, I hear what you're saying, but I don't
Mhm.
think it's not necessarily predicated off of the conversation with Pino. I think it comes from the fact that she keeps losing out on the business. Every time she gets a foothold on the business, something happens to take that stability away from her. Just like when she got up with the girls, when she got up on her feet with Flossie, when she got up on her feet with
You call
when
her
she got up on
floozy?
her feet, yeah, I did be calling her floozy. Yo, when she got up on her feet with her, the first thing that happened was Kanan go and rob one of the girls and give him one of the tricks, a hot shot. So every time her business gets up and running, she takes a hit. So I think just like with this, with Joaquin, she just got up on her feet with Joaquin, and here she is taking another hit. So now she's trying to figure out how to respond to that, how to react to that to keep the business going, because if she don't, then she's going to lose that protection from Pino. She's going to lose that connection with Flossie. So I think that's why she diverts back to the business, because the business is always in threat, is always in jeopardy of something happening to it. Talking about justice for Flossie too. What Flossie need justice for?
I guess maybe for her daughter unaliving or.
Well, her business is kind of falling apart too because of her dealings with Rock.
Yep.
So in low key, Stefano was somewhat kind of right that anybody who do business with Rock is going to have problems. But those were not problems that Rock created. They were, well, technically, it kind of is, because she refuses to deal with her problem with Kanan. She let Kanan run amok out here, and you let Kanan go in and hitting your business, you hitting his business. This tit for tat is what's causing her business to fall apart right now.
Yep.
Where she should have dealt with that threat to begin with before she went and set up new business dealings with someone else. She should have been upfront with Flossie and Pino about her opposition with her son out here in the streets, so they could have been prepared for that. But she walked in there and gave them reassurances that everything was going to be all right and that she was going to be good. But she failed to tell them that her number one op is her own son.
Yeah, it's going after this. I for sure when we get to that scene, for sure next episode that's coming back to bite her. For sure.
You know, I'm glad that they gave us Jarita, and I'm glad that we transitioned quickly from Tiana to Jarita. When they introduce these characters in the Power Universe and they play dual roles, it was like when Kanan played Slim in OG Power, we knew that he was Kanan the whole time. It's like we know that she's Jarita all this time, so we need our interactions with her to be Jarita. So I'm glad that they did this. However, I think they should have gotten rid of the whole Crystal storyline last season and put Jarita in Crystal's place. It just doesn't make sense that Kanan and Jarita would be this close, this fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that Kanan is no longer grieving Crystal when he went up in such a rage about Crystal being put down. Now all of a sudden he's just completely forgotten all about Crystal and he's moved on to a new love, just
That's
like that.
That's the only part I hate about this season.
Yes.
I think it was what we on episode 6. I think I said
6.
When did we meet her? Like episode 4? And I said that, like, when matter of fact, the episode where he was going to take her out shopping, I was like, bro, you just met her
And
like,
just laid up with her for the first time.
for real. Yeah, like you just laid up with her for the first time. Like you already now we on episode 6. You talking about the feelings is real? I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, you know why
I
the
feel
feelings
this
is
for you.
real.
That's true.
like God
That's
damn.
facts though.
I was just
It
like,
must be
y'all
her reverse
up.
cowgirl then, because it doesn't make sense for me. It
That's
just
what I
doesn't.
was just saying.
It just doesn't make. Maybe it's her throat. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense for me as to why he is so infatuated with her all of a sudden. We have not seen. We saw with Crystal why he became infatuated with her, because she helped him out with the business. She helped ground him. They had history. Not history per se, but they had background noise. When I say background noise, she transitioned from being in Butter, so she was around. She was around the way per se. So it was a natural progression for him to develop feelings for her. She helped him get out of that Roach Motel that he was trapping out of. She helped him make better decisions. She was trying to help him with Rock and all of this. So it made sense for him to develop strong feelings for Crystal. What it doesn't make sense for him to develop strong feelings for a Trick that he met. And he says in this episode that originally he was trying to play her up for information about his mom's business dealings, and all of a sudden from there he developed feelings. How?
Then I got feelings.
You know how.
Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, I was just mocking Kanan as usual with the voice and everything. He said, then I got feelings for you. That's true. At first, I was just about Rock. It was about getting information from my mother. And then I got feelings from you after that reverse cowgirl you did. The reverse cowgirl was so good. I walked you into the store and told you can get anything that you wanted. Anything, Jarita.
Spot on point. So he also admits in this episode finally that listen, my mother and I got issues, and our business is bumping up into each other, and that's why I decided to, so he comes clean with her in regards to what his original intentions were, and from there he developed feelings for her. And she instantly get upset with him and says, see, I knew when I told you at the store that I didn't want to be fooling with you. I knew you was into some stuff. She should have walked out in this scene right here. She should have walked out, and they should have revisit this conversation later on.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, he should not have been able to pull her back that quick, because she had a right to be upset at this point, because he did play her. But of course, he tells her, like Jack said, that how strong his feelings are for her. And she was like, look, I need to know whatever you into. Am I safe around you? And he was like, yeah, you're safe around me. What happened to me is some shit that I did. So Kanan really does kind of acknowledge the fact that the reason why he got beat down was because of his actions. He doesn't tell her exactly what those actions are. And then did y'all find his response to her about him being a money man and he not out in these streets as an honest response to her? I felt like that was a bit of a lie.
It was a lie.
Yeah.
I feel
It
like
was a
I
lie.
thought it was just
100%
me.
a
I
lie.
thought it was just me. Okay.
Nah. I felt he just told her that just to ease her conscience or whatever. Because I'm like, bro,
So she could feel safer.
Yeah, I'm like, you're
Yeah.
touching work. You just ain't no money person. I'm like, then on top of that, you saying, yeah, you safe with me. Look what happened to Crystal. So you can't necessarily say that she's safe with you.
Exactly. And Crystal was a Rock Jr. per se. She was more of a Tasha. She was Kanan's Tasha. She could have been Kanan's Tasha, which Jarita is probably going to end up being, obviously, Kanan's Tasha. But like I said, they should have replaced the character Crystal with Jarita. It should have been Jarita. We should have spent all that time with Jarita versus Crystal. We spent all that time with Crystal for her to be unalive, and now for Kanan not to even care about it anymore or even talk about it anymore. It just didn't. It doesn't make sense.
You don't.
Yeah, we know that.
I think they did that to add the hate, to Rock. Like it was already there, right? It was already there, right, with Fame, and D Wiz kind of, but he kind of understood that, but he was lobbying. But then but Crystal is what got him to the point of even going to the house, to set up where we at now with Lulu. So I get what you saying, because at some point he don't care about her at all. Like this, what got you to this point, and now you done moved on this fast. But I think what the writer was just trying to do was just to entice the fuel, so we can see, the fallout. How big the fallout gonna be?
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Jack. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it is. What it was a plot device. It was a plot device to fuel Kanan's anger towards Rock. So I agree with that. And you're right, Cubstar. Crystal did give Kanan some of the same advice that Rock was trying to give him. But the problem is Kanan don't listen to nobody. Let's just be honest. Let's call a thing a thing. Kanan don't give a shit about nobody except for anybody that he laying with. That's about the closest he gonna listen to anyone that's trying to tell him anything right. Because even
facts.
Juke was trying to tell him, like, yo, are you sure? Are you sure that Rock did all these things? Why would she do all these things? And he upped on her. Yep. So Kanan ain't trying to listen. He don't heed reason to anyone except for anyone that give him a little throat. Man, this man face is fucked up. Messed up.
The Tommy Hearns, boy.
Just look like Tommy Hearns.
Go get an ice pack for him. He's packed up.
Shoot, ice pack help that.
Man, to take some of that swelling down. Yes, it will.
I don't even put a steak on his ass.
A steak. He need a whole slab of beef on the side of that face.
I don't want to fight no more.
For real, sit down. That man hopping around and everything, limping. Ooh, this was the justice we needed right here.
But I didn't like this scene right here because, like we was just saying, it's just like you automatically now, like it was almost like, in a sense, like he was begging, almost like it's real. My feelings for you is real. Like, don't leave me, don't go.
Yeah, he begging for her to stay. Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, you don't know this chick. I'm like, you just met this chick, like literally, and through a call service. Like, so why are you? I like you said, I don't know.
It don't make sense. Another thing that doesn't make sense is on the Jarita side. She should not be disloyal to him. At the end of the day, she be loyal. She should have been loyal to her bag. You out here. Remember when we first met the character, she told us about all of her debts that she got. She tried to get herself through school. She took care of grandmother in rehab, a disabled brother, and now you throwing your whole moneymaker out in jeopardy running behind Kanan. He must be throwing you a hella bag. He must give you hella stacks because you risked all of that just to lay up with Kanan. And you don't know nothing about this man and everything. So she should have been more about her business and like, listen, you messing with my money now. You messing with my hustle right now. Like your business with your mom bumping into my thing because you just came into my life and you messed up my whole thing. Like, so are you gonna replace that? So like, and then of course Kanan assures her that I'm gonna take care of everybody who take care of me and you take care of me. They maybe if we had more episodes, they could have developed this a little bit more. But this is what I'm talking about with the pacing. They fast forward this to get to this. Whereas they should have spent just a little bit of time with her being a little hesitant about getting close to Kanan. We should have seen her pulling away from Kanan a little bit, like, I don't know if I need to be messing with you. You out here selling drugs and whatever. Like, she shouldn't have instantly turned into a ride or die.
Right. Oh, at least with her being, at least with it being 8 episodes, we should have saw Jarita in like episode 2 or something.
Exactly. Or we should have got her earlier on. I agree. Yep. All right, so we got the infamous scene from the pictures of Breeze out here on a stakeout mission, and we learned that he's watching the Arab Morris Day, Hafiz coming out of club. I don't know what I expected here, but I expected something else to happen here per se. I don't know what I was expecting here, but I expected more than just Hafiz walking out to his car. But what I did see early on in this scene, what I took away from it was that he was fortified. That in other words, that if you're going to try to touch him, because we saw that he was able to touch Joaquin very easily. Mm-hmm. So I saw very early on, this man got a 4-man bodyguard detail around him. Like, yeah, you ain't going to just be able to walk up to him and touch him. So Morris Day getting in the car, and the time was a group, so the time is with Morris Day right now. So Breeze is out here.
But I with you though, bro. I thought the same thing. I thought he was going to do a drive-by on him.
I thought it was too. Yes.
So you weren't by yourself when I saw until we found out later on, because I was trying to figure out why he was even watching Hafiz for the first.
I think that's what the whole plan was, though, because they showed we're gonna obviously come to that actual scene, but they showed Breeze like staking him out, and when one of the security guards told him like you can't park here,
let Breeze know that the security is not just protecting him, but the perimeter.
Right.
The perimeter.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. They watching everything. So I do think at some point in time, with him doing what he did to Hafiz, not Hafiz, Joaquin, I do think that their initial plan was to take out anybody that Rock could get work from.
Oh yeah, that is the plan.
Yeah,
Stefano put that battery in his pack.
He saw that with Hafiz, like, yeah, that ain't finna happen, man. They'll get me up out of here real quick.
Man, look, that's a MagSafe battery that's attached to Breeze back from his conversation last week with Stefano. But however, I will say, I'll wait till we get to that scene. But yeah, Stefano charged that back up, battery up on him and placed it on his back last week about getting rid of Joaquin. So it was the same thing with Hafiz. It was like not only get rid of Joaquin, but get rid of all Rock suppliers. So now she got nobody that she can get work from. Because remember, he told him last week, or in the last episode, not last week, but the last episode, that Pino will stop protecting her if she can't pay him no more. So what he's trying to do is cut off her ability to earn, her ability to get that work. So he wanted to go stake out Hafiz's operation to see where his weaknesses were in his operation, so he could infiltrate him to take him out. Initially, his plan was to take him out, but I don't know. It just felt like in that scene, something else was supposed to happen. I don't know.
I'm gonna piggyback off this once we get to that scene with Breeze and Stefano.
This is where my first gripe for the episode starts at. We did not need this in episode 6. Did we need this? Did we need it at all? We already knew who put down Famous. We didn't need this. We didn't need this confirmation. We already knew that Bonnie and Clyde were behind that. We knew that from last season. This should have happened before now. This should have happened in the same episode where Captain Louis Baptiste was walking out and telling Garcia to carry on the torch for him, blah, 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 blah. This should have happened in that episode.
Yeah.
This should not have happened now. We don't care about Tanner no more. Joining us is OG Bobby Jumpman. What's up? Got all my brothers here tonight. That's what's up. We didn't need this. We didn't need this, and this toupee they got on this man. Diabolical. Diabolical. Who in wardrobe said put this thing on this man's head?
I didn't even peep that too.
Yo, this shit that they got glued on this man's head looks horrible, bro. Oh my
I
god!
didn't even peep until just now when you said
that shit look
that
horrible.
That is terrible. That joint like a little wet.
They gave that man an anchorman, bro.
Man, what? Yo, man, this look like a dead animal sitting on top of his head. Yo, what did they do to Tanner? I don't understand. Okay, I do understand now. I had to think back. Okay, so remember Juke, after she paid Garcia off, she told Garcia, go find out what happened to Famous. So he's continuing his mission. Because he went and talked to the other detective, and the other detective mentioned Tanner and the feds coming in. And that's when they took an interest in the Figueroa case. So now he's just following up on his leads. He's doing his detective work that I felt like they should have done when Famous first got put down. Did we need this in this season? We didn't investigate the case in the season that he passed in. But now all of a sudden, it's crazy to think that the character Famous is still driving the story this late in the series, that the character Famous is still driving the story. Garcia goes and sees Tanner, and he comes up with this bogus line for Tanner that says, I'm close to the kid's mom. I need to give her closure. Even if we don't solve the case, I need to find out. And here we learn that Captain Louis Baptiste is dirty, and the whole precinct is dirty. And Tanner tells him that, oh, I don't know if I should be talking to you because everything out of that precinct is tainted. And he was like,
Right.
I'm not going to tell you, but so much is only so much. And I probably shouldn't even be saying this to you. But let me just tell you this. Captain Baptiste didn't leave on his own accord. And he tells him that, all that stuff with Howard, Burke, all that. Your boy Captain Baptiste is in the middle of all that. So, whatever answers you looking for, they out here with him. So go see him. And so he was like, I'll see you later. Anything else of substance from this scene?
Nope. Besides that,
None. Besides
that
wig got plenty of substance.
Man, that ain't no wig. That's a fucking rug.
But
that man got that Will Ferrell going on, bro.
A piece of carpet sitting on top of his head.
Yeah, I kind of wish like we didn't see this scene, and like we just see later on when Garcia just goes to Batiste, and like he just like don't worry about how I uncovered it, because it was just like you said, this scene shouldn't have been in episode 6. This scene should have been way back episode 1, episode 2, hell, even last season. But I think if they took this out, I think the only reason they put this in there because if they had left this out and then just went straight to the joint where Garcia approaches Baptiste about it, they would be like, well, how did he find that information? So I think that's the only reason why they threw this in here, just so people could know exactly how Garcia got the information of that Baptiste being dirty.
Okay, that makes sense. Bobby, real quick, what'd you think about the episode?
I'm leaning more towards Jack, man. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. I'm probably about an 8 or a 9. It wasn't predictable. Everything that, some of the, as far as like deaths go, everything that everybody just wanted to happen just didn't quite happen. And I kind of like that part of it. I mean, I know some of y'all don't, but I kind of like that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that too. So Fresh, I agree with what you were saying about the whole situation with Tanner. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's all the reason why they threw this scene in there, because everybody would be like, well, when did this conversation happen? Shoot, we might have even said it ourselves and reviewing it. We might have said, well, when did he talk to? How did he find this information? So yeah, I feel like that's I think that's the only reason why they threw in that little short scene right there with Tanner and all that stuff, just so we can know Like how
How did he
long?
get here? How did we get
Yep,
here?
how he got there, and how long Batista's been dirty.
I guess we did need that considering what happens in the rest of the episode. I think we needed that because had we not gotten that transition scene, then we would have had questions for that. So I think that's a good point you make. All right, who want this one?
Oh, this was one of the best
Yeah,
singles
who
right
want
here
this
on
one?
the
I'm,
whole
I'm, I'm
show.
throwing it up for grabs. Jack, you want it?
Empower history.
Sure, I take it.
All
No
right, take
problem.
it.
This is where Juke actually confronts Kanan on what happened, gives him the opportunity to tell her exactly what went on. And of course, Kanan, in typical Kanan fashion, he just blamed it on Rock. He spent everything on Rock. It was Rock's fault. I wouldn't have been over there if it wasn't for Rock. Disregard the fact that you actually put down Lou. It's everything was this all happened because of Rock. And she does like she do in order to cover things up, and this is how we got to this point. Juke ain't buying none of it, and I'm glad she ain't buying none of it because Juke was like, "Nah, my boy, this is 100% on you.
Are you
Stop being
serious?
a
Right,
bitch
right.
and man up and own it. This is 100% on you." So you keep going on and chasing your mother around and blaming her for every situation that you put yourself in when she's the one to try to help you out. You lied to Juke, so that made it even worse because she felt like they had a way better bond than that. So it honestly, what I got from this, or what I took from this is you can see more of a tear in their relationship. Of course, we know, with the OG power that they build it back up. But here I see there's a big tear in their
Yep.
relationship, and I'm interested to see how they're going to repair it.
Good point, Damon. Very good point.
Right.
And here's another thing that we forget, or the audience forgets, is that this ain't going with Juke. This ain't gonna go with Juke because she knew what you left from over there to go do. She knew
Mm-hmm.
that you was going to go get at Rock. She knew that you left there thinking that Rock had put down Famous and had put down Crystal, and that you was going over there. She was the one that called Lou. So at the end of the day, how can you blame Rock for this when do you not remember that we were right here in this very room and
Mm-hmm.
you left from over here with a strap saying that you was going to get at your mother? I called around to everyone. She called Marvin. She called Rock. She couldn't get nobody on the phone. Remember, the only person that she got on the phone was Lou. So part of her kind of feels responsible for what happened as well because she sent Lou over there to see about you and what you was getting ready to go do. And for you to do what you did and not be honest with her about that and come back and try to blame that on Rock, she wasn't going. She knew that you were lying
And furthermore, he gonna sit there and say, "Oh, I was gonna tell y'all, but she jumped in front of it."
and told me to
What?
lie and covered it all up.
What? You
You was
had
gonna tell her
plenty of
twice.
opportunity, plenty of room to go ahead and tell her.
You
You
was
just
gonna tell
chose
her
not
twice.
to. You chose to throw your mother under the bus and try to blame everything on her, just a way that so everybody else could look at it from your perspective, from your point of view. That Rock ain't shit. When really the reality of it is,
You ain't
you
shit.
only here because
You
of
ain't
Rock.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You only alive because of Rock.
Right.
That's why I
Jump in
was
here,
so
fellas. What y'all
happy with.
think? What y'all think?
Oh, I loved when Juke told her. When Juke told Kanan. What was it? She said,
About him being a little bitch? And you
Hey,
running around
"Yeah,
here
man,
trying to
white
be
like
a man?
make
wave.
you a man,"
Yeah,
or
you running
something
around here
like
trying to be a
that.
man? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that was the best part that I liked. I was like, that right there. You can tell that hit Kanan deep. His facial expression after she said that, and as she rolls out, like you can tell that hit Kanan deep. And I was like, okay, that's the best. That was the. That's what I said to me. This was the best scene in the whole episode.
Hey, Fresh. He wanted to cry. He just
Uh huh.
couldn't open his eyes. He
that
really wanted to cry though. He just couldn't
That
open
part.
that joint.
this I think this scene personally, to what even Jack said, um, you can tell even with Juke confronting him, Kanan lacks accountability. Everything he does, he gotta blame his mama, he gotta have somebody to blame. The first thing he did was say, well, Rock, Rock, Rock. And she like, no, this ain't on Rock. This is on you. So he lacks accountability. And I mean, somewhat you can kind of see that with Rock too in some situations where she kind of diverts, situations that take place. from herself and blames something else and try to validate what she did.
This is a good tie-in to Jamrock's comment. So yes, keep in mind he went over there to unalive his mother, and had Lou not came there, that would have happened.
That would
So
happen.
you should have owned up to that and told you that, instead of you trying to reverse Uno reverse this situation and blame it on Rock. Let's not forget what you went over there for. You went over there to put your mom down, and Lou got in the way of that. So all this is you, bro. This is you. You should have been a man and told Juke, yeah, I went over there to put her down. Uncle Lou got in the way of that, and blah, 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 blah. Again, nobody is telling the story exactly how it happens. They're telling bits and pieces of it. Because, again, the security guard upped on him, shook him, and he turned around and he pulled the trigger. No matter who was in that direction, whether it would have been Lou or the security guard, his gat hit the person that was in that path. So whoever was in the path of that was going to get that bullet. Yep. So it wasn't that he did it intentionally, but the fact that you went over there with ill intentions puts you completely at fault for this.
And to further what you were saying about the reverse cowgirl, he ain't chased Juke down to get try to get Juke to talk to him.
Nope.
Like he just let Juke just walk out the door. You know what I'm saying? And Juke was supposed to be the one that been there for you for the longest.
Exactly.
Right. Jarita comes around, you get slutted out a little bit, and you behave different.
That's why it doesn't make sense to me. That's why it doesn't make sense to me that you have this level of trust in a trick versus your own rider. Remember when you was out here shaking down the streets to try to find out what happened with Famous? Who was right there with you?
Juke was with you.
Exactly. So
he got scared when they was in the at the basketball on the court.
And she upped on old boy.
Yeah, he got scared.
Yep, and she upped on. Matter of fact, he pulled Juke off of her, off of the dude. As a matter of fact, yeah. Bye for Kanan. Go to jail, Kanan. It's a while before you die, so go to jail, Kanan. I can't wait. I cannot wait for him to go to jail. When we are going to have a party for that scene when Kanan get them cuffs put on him and he got to go sit down for 10 years. Bye, Kanan. We'll actually enjoy Power Origins after that. Bye, Kanan. Get out of here. All right, so Bree's still out doing his thing, watching Morris Day, and he can't find any loopholes in Hafiz's security details. So I think here he comes to the realization that he ain't gonna be easy to get at because he always got a 4-piece man on him at all times. So you're not just gonna be able to walk in and catch him.
Yeah, take him down.
My second gripe to this episode: we did not need this. And why did y'all name that lady Olga? I don't know why.
That was horrible.
That was diabolical. We did not need Miss Olga back. Famous been unalive for 6 months now, or 3 months now, however long it's been gone. Famous has been put in the ground. You just now picking up the things. You just now finding Kanan's things. You're just now deciding to bring this over to Rock's house. Yeah. And here's my next question. Does she know what the family business is? I mean,
I don't think she does.
How can she not? She walking up to the security guard saying, "Oh, give this box to Rock. I found these things laying around the house, and I'm going to give them to her." Rock comes to the door and see Miss Olga, and she invites her in for tea and cookies. I mean, what y'all think y'all was going to sit down and have a conversation as mothers about y'all two boys? Like, she's like, "Oh, I'm on my way to the airport. We didn't need closure. We already got that. We didn't need this. This was a plot device, obviously, to put the battery in Rock's back, because in their conversation, Olga is sitting here and she breaks down with Rock and she tells Rock that she feels responsible for what happened to Famous, and she is kind of indirectly responsible because had she not found the firearm in Famous's room and took it down to the police, thinking that the police was actually going to be police and help somebody, the whole chain of events with Famous would not have happened. But she don't know that. But as a mother and survivor's remorse, she feels guilty about what has happened to Famous. She feels like she put him on the wrong trajectory, even going back to the flashback episode when they had to flee the house with the father beating on Famous and them having to stay at the shelter. He living with Rock for a period of time while they were in the shelter. She feels guilty behind all those things as a mother. She don't feel like she did a good job protecting her son. And Rock tells her, "No, Olga, all Famous ever said about you when he lived here was that he loved you. And she said, that's nice of you to say, even if it's not true. And Rock says, no, it was true. And then she goes on to share a conversation that she heard secondhand from Jessica that Lou said he looked up to Rock and he wanted to be just like Rock. And so that put a battery in Rock's back now because she's grieving, but she hasn't dealt with her grief. We see Marvin has been trying to deal with his grief, going to the pastor, out here on his solo man mission to try to avenge Lou's death. So we see Marvin in his own way has been dealing with the events of what's happened with Lou. Rock, on the other hand, has been sweeping this up under the rug. She's not been confronting her feelings about the situation. And hearing those comments that Lou made about her has now forced her to want to find closure by knowing how her brother truly felt about her. Did we need this?
Nope.
No.
I feel like I think we only got it because of the like what we find out with Baptiste and all of that other stuff. I think that's the only reason why that was even in here. We did not need this. I'm with you, bro, because I was trying to figure that out. I was lost. I was like, okay, we ain't seen her in a minute, so why is she even coming to Rock's crib? Like, you trying to tell me last season at no point did she find all that stuff of Kanan's belongings or whatever? Like, so I was genuinely confused about that. And I am Rock, yeah, the same thing. Like, I was thinking that, like, how does everyone know where she lives at? Because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yo, how she even know? Because I was like, Famous never stayed at that crib.
Nope, he stayed over there at the other house.
He stayed over there at the other house. So I'm like, how she even know, like, where Rock stay at? I was confused by that. So yeah, I agree. But I feel it was nothing more than a plot device for, the whole Famous, this whole revealing that we got about what happened to Fame.
And with all of Rock got going on right now, all the beefs that she got a one-man security detail standing out front of her house. She need to have a full-man security detail that's sitting out front of her house. And to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't want to sign up to be on Rock's security detail because every bodyguard that she's ever had, ain't none of them safe with guard Rock. She need a full-man crew.
We're going to put M2 on.
Let me ask a quick question.
Go ahead.
My bad, Fresh. My bad.
No, you go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I remember a prediction M2 had made for in the chat for Rock, like, you know what I'm saying, when all of this is, said and done, as far as where she might end up at. I kind of feel like this kind of lines up with his prediction. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about. You remember what I'm talking about, M2?
Oh, you talking about when I mentioned her being probably committed to a mental institution? Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit later too, because I wanted to unpack that a little bit too. So I'm right there with you, Bobby.
Whether I think that's the only need for this scene. Other than that, like,
okay, there you go, Bobby.
We didn't need it.
There you go, Bobby.
That makes sense.
It's a build up. It's a build up. Okay.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, different POV.
Okay, I like this POV. All right, so we're going to unpack that a little bit when we get to that scene, because I think there's a perfect place for us to have that discussion in this episode. Another scene that we didn't need. I'm so tired of Stefano. Like I said in the chat, if it was not Tony Danza's character, if it was not Tony Danza playing this character, Stefano would have been out of here. Pack him up and get him out of here. I'm tired of him. I want Rock dead. I want Rock gone. I'm tired of him and his obsession with Rock. And Breeze is sitting here telling this man.
Real quick, I got a question. Can somebody actually tell me what is his direct beef with Rock?
Because Rock is a female. That's one. 2, she a Tootsie Roll. 3, she did not submit to him. That's his biggest issue. The fact that she stood her ground like she's done with every man. Keep in mind, all throughout the show, we have always ever heard Rock say she ain't getting on her knees for no man. So she has always stood against any man that has challenged her or expected her to kiss their feet. So that's what, as a made man, an Italian man, and the fact that it's a Muli that's standing up against you is making Stefano look weak. Is making Stefano feel weak. Just like the same issue that Sal had with Rock. This is the same issue that Sal had with Rock. is the fact that she's a female, a black female, and she's standing her ground with him. They don't know how to take that. So most of this is fueled by his ego and the fact that you making me look bad out here in these streets because I got a Tootsie Roll out here that's running amok on me. So that's one. And the other part of it is Stefano, just like every other male in this show, fails to lack his own accountability for his actions. Because had you not put the battery in Marvin's back last week to be your personal hitman,
exactly,
a lot of this stuff wouldn't have happened either. But you trying to blame Rock for that, but you went behind Rock's back to solicit her brother's help to go do your dirty deeds. All that backed up on you. And now you're trying to push Rock out and say she's the reason why he got poked up in the park. You got poked up in the park, just like Pino told you, because of your beef that you had with Sal.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Like, is he actually blaming her for that? Because this all happened because of something that he did.
Yeah,
that part. But for me, even though Breeze riding with him, but the mere fact that Breeze told him here in this scene, like, yo, bro, like, I ain't gonna be able to hit Hafiz. He ain't like Joaquin. That man got security deep around him. So maybe the best response is no response at all, which is a comment that we heard Ghost told Dre back in OG Power, which that was a real nice tie back to that because Dre was a hothead, just like Kanan is a hothead and wanted to go and hit back. But no, Breeze is pretty much telling Stefano is like, her work dead already. So, like, wouldn't it just be better to just cut her off at the knees by getting rid of all her work instead of going and dropping another kingpin? Like, we don't need to do this to accomplish your goal. In other words, he's telling him that there's a different way to achieve this goal that you want without more bloodshed. So I like that about Breeze, that he's calculated, and Stefano wasn't trying to hear none of that. He wasn't trying to hear none of that. So I think maybe not in this moment, but I think to a certain point, Breeze is getting tired of all Stefano's demands. And I still go back to my original feeling that it's going to be Breeze is going to be the one to put Stefano down, because at this point, like, I'm not a task rabbit. I'm not an errand boy. And all we keep seeing Stefano using him for is to do your dirty work.
And Stefano was doing nothing for them.
Nothing for them.
Like, if you go back to the original setup, he said,
the
all I
meeting at
want
the
is my
hospital.
taste.
Yep.
All I want is my taste. He's like, I'm not providing nothing else. If somebody come along trying to war with y'all for this,
I'm gonna go with whoever is winning. Yep.
Yeah, like, for all that, man, get on out of here. I'm so sick of Stefano, man. Like, man,
I got a question for y'all.
I'm sick of dude.
I'm sick of him too,
in the
Bob.
comments, maybe they can answer it. My question is, I'm trying to figure out, after he had his meeting with Pino, and Pino told him, like, he basically gave him a warning, like, hey, yo, if you messing with my funds, like, I'm gonna step in. So why are you still trying after that warning from Pino? Why are you still trying to, as you say, cut Rock off at the knees? Like, you took out Joaquin. Okay, got it. Whatever. And now you're trying to go after Hafiz. But Pino warned you. So it's like it's like you don't care about what Pino said to you. Like, so it's just like, I guess you just want to say, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and be unalived because I'm about to, because Pino warned him. So I just don't get why he's still trying to mess up.
Because that paper she was dropping off on him.
With Rock after Pino warned him.
She was dropping off a bag, right?
He gonna miss that.
Who has the answer to that? Who has the answer to that? Because I hear what you're saying, Fresh, but it still drives me back to my original thought. And my original point is Stefano's got to pay there's some consequences for his actions too. And it's time for him to face those consequences. Now, whether he faced them from Pino or not, but at the end of the day, it's time for Stefano to face that, because you're right. Pino did tell him that, look, she one of my tenants, and I stand behind my tenants. She pay her rent, and she pay her rent on time. So in other words, if you mess with that, then you messing with me. So there was a warning that was issued to Stefano. I get where you're going with that, Fresh. There was a warning issued to Stefano. The question becomes, who's better suited to deal with our problem with Stefano Is it Breeze or does Pino come in and deal with the situation? But either way, Stefano needs to be out of here next week. Pack him up, get him out of
Oh
here
yeah, we only
next
got
week.
2 episodes, so he got to be.
He shouldn't have been here this long.
I think it's actually going to be Breeze.
It need to be Breeze.
Yeah, I think
I
so
think
too.
it's going to be Breeze because I mean, the way he's kind of yes man and kind of using Breeze and trying to use Kanan
The same
as
way he did Marvin.
right and use them as like token boys to do his dirty work. It is basically like, okay, well, I ain't had nothing to do with it. It was his son. It was her son. But at the end of the day, you're the one ordering these guys to, like you said, cut off at the knees. You messing with Pino's money, but I think that Breeze is gonna put him in the furnace before Pino get him.
Or before Pino gets a chance to get to him, because at the end of the day, Breeze has a goal of his own that I
Yeah.
don't think that everyone remembers. Breeze said it early on in the season, if he didn't say it at last season as well when he was first introduced. It's time to get these old heads out of the way.
Yep.
So I think that Breeze's ultimate strategy, ultimate goal, is to eliminate all of and control the streets. Because unlike Rock, Breeze, and Kanan's only motivation is the streets, ripping and running the streets and controlling all the streets. Rock has used different vehicles to sell her work out of that they're not interested in. And keep in mind, Breeze has a side hustle that he's running now. And now in this episode, a second side hustle that he's running right now. So it's to his advantage to get rid of Stefano. It's to his advantage to sever his relationship with Snap and Pop as well, because at the end of the day, Breeze want to do what he want to do, how he wants to do it. And all these rules and all these demands that are being put upon him, he ain't with that. He is a strategist,
they not,
as Dexter said.
and they not provide no dope or no money.
No transportation, no
Nothing.
security, nothing.
Just penitentiary chances. Hey, go take this chance.
Right, for me,
Take this chance.
with
That's
no
all they doing.
reward. With no reward.
No reward. You don't get
No
paid
reward.
for the job. You just keep me happy. Nah, they got
So we tired of Stefano. So I'm Team Breeze with this situation right here. We tired of you, Stefano. We're gonna pack you up and get you up out of here. This is another situation I don't understand. Didn't they tell y'all ass not to go back over here to this apartment no more? Why y'all keep setting up in this apartment? Don't been robbed. It don't been shot up. It don't been. At this point, y'all need to find somewhere else. It's sanctioned. Exactly. Yeah. This part it need to be condemned.
And I got a question for y'all once we go through the scene.
Marvin blow the door off the hinges damn near literally. And I don't know what he came here for, but as he busts in the door, kick in the door, wave in the fofo, he realized that these kids, what the fuck am I doing, yo?
He was after Kanan.
I know he was after the Kanan, but even still, in this moment right here, he's still fueled by anger. He's still trying to touch Kanan. He's still trying to get at Kanan for what happened with Lou. But in this moment, it takes him back to his what he's struggling with right now. What he's struggling with right now is purpose. What is the purpose of all this that we doing? We ripping and running. Now we at war with each other. Now we at war with the family. Like, is it worth all this? So when he busts in this door, he's just thinking to himself, like, yo, what the hell am I doing, yo?
Yeah, like enough is enough.
Yeah, enough is enough. And he just walks off. I understood this message here. I understood this message right here. Because ultimately this is Marvin coming to the resolve that this shit ain't even worth it, yo. Like, what are we doing here? What am I doing here? And did you really think that you were gonna find Kanan here? Last time you went there, you didn't find Kanan there. So, like, Marvin is just, he don't know what to do. He is at a crossroads. His character's at a crossroad. He is defeated. He is confused. He is grieving. He has no idea what the next move is. So I just felt like he didn't see, like, he came to his own senses in this scene right here and like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing myself, yo. I'm out of here.
You answer my question because I was trying to figure out why he even went over there in the first place. Because I was just like, you spoke to Rock at the beginning of the episode, and she said, "What you think? I'm going to sanction it, like you taking them out." And then you come there again, like I just didn't understand because it was just like last episode could have taken them out, jukebox stopped him. Then you come back again with the shotgun. So what you thought you were going to to take him out then afterwards. Like I just didn't. But now that you said that, now it makes sense that he just didn't know.
It was driven by
Yeah,
emotion.
he just ain't know what to do at that point.
So the map, Dexter, I'm glad you brought that up because we saw this in this. I don't know if it was last season or the season
We saw this
before
in,
that.
like,
with
season 3.
with Ronnie, Ronnie and them when Kanan and Famous first started selling the weed. The map was symbolizing the different boroughs, the different places that they were making their deliveries. So it's almost kind of like planning out a route for the couriers, for the little runners, the little bicycle boys, for where they'll be going all around the city and doing the deliveries at. So we saw Kanan explain that to Famous in an earlier season. I want to say it was that season with Ronnie, where Ronnie put him up out of there. That they first went over the geography of the city and where they would be going all around about to make their deliveries. So that is just a background plot device to remind us that those are the couriers. That the courier part of the business is ran out of this apartment, basically.
Yep.
This is something else. Number three. This is something else we did not need in this episode. This should have happened in the episode that we seen Captain Baptiste packing his things up and leaving. We had to wait 4 or 5 episodes to get to the retirement party. The retirement party should have been in the same episode or the very next episode after we seen Captain Baptiste leaving with his things and telling Garcia to carry on the torch and to find out what happened with Howard. Why did we wait 4 or 5 episodes to give this man a retirement party?
Plot device for Famous.
Plot device for Famous.
And like we said, with snaps and pops. That's all.
Plot device.
Yo.
Ill-placed plot device. Because again, we also have not seen Snap and Pop since that episode as well. What I'm saying is this should have been moved to that episode. If they would have had all that happen in this episode, an episode that actually showed Snap and Pop, an episode that actually showed Captain Baptiste, then all this would have made sense and we could have been further along in the story than where we are right now. This is ill-placed. This should have been placed earlier on in the season versus where we're at right now.
I would agree.
Garcia shows up at Captain Baptiste's retirement party, acting off of the information he learned from Agent Toupee regarding Captain Baptiste being dirty. And Captain Baptiste in there, yeah, I've been 35 years on the force, and I'm gonna miss these good old days. And he pulled Captain Baptiste out the side, and time and place. Agent Tanner told me about you. He told me that they didn't send you, that you didn't leave here on your own. They sent you up out of here. And he also told me that you were dirty. And Captain Baptiste, kind of threatens him like, I'm just going to pretend you didn't say what you just said to me, and I'm going to go back in here and enjoy this good retirement party, and you finna go on to the house, because even though I'm a civilian right now, I will still put you down.
Right in there, he was dirty.
He was dirty. Yep.
Right.
He was dirty.
But in all honesty, the exchange was hilarious how he checked him. I can't lie.
I mean, fellas, what are y'all thoughts? Chat, what are y'all thoughts? Did y'all feel like this? I mean, I get it. It's a plot device. Other than it being a plot device, this was just unnecessary for us at this point.
I would agree, because remember, this is where I said where like the episode is like it's slow, then it go fast. And like how you were saying earlier, like this is something we shouldn't be just seeing this in episode 6 with 2 episodes left.
After being on a break.
Now if we had 10 episodes, okay, I get it. But we got 2 episodes left. This should have been something that should have been shown in episode 4.
Or earlier than that, because like I said, they could have tied all this together. Yeah. They could have tied all this together. The episode that showed Captain Baptiste, we thought at this point he was already retired. This implies that he was still working. But we seen an episode of him taking his box out, taking his things out, and saying goodbye. This should have happened. If it didn't happen in that episode, it should have happened in the very next episode that we had his retirement party. This relevance, like again, we didn't learn nothing here that we didn't already know. We already knew that Snap and Pop were involved. We already knew that they were responsible. So we didn't learn anything here other than Captain Baptiste was dirty. So it was just an ill-placed plot device. Ill-placed plot device. We understood why that it had to happen, because we needed to move the story forward, but it's ill-placed. It should have been in the episode that Captain Baptiste was saying goodbye.
Yeah. But I knew he was guilty out of this.
Yep. So and Garcia knew it too. So Garcia went on about his business, and like we didn't get nothing here. This scene right here. Okay. So again, Breeze is trying to find out what happened to Kanan, and I feel like he should have been a little bit more aggressive with Kanan as to what happened. But Kanan is a little bit embarrassed, and at the same time, he never really put the full truth out about anything. So he's not told Breeze about the whole situation with Uncle Lou and what happened, and this being retaliation from that. So Breeze is like, you just give me a name and, we'll go deal with that problem. Kanan barely can get up the steps and whatever. He's like, this on me.
This is when I knew Marvin beat the hell out of that man. That man couldn't even walk up the steps.
Man can't walk, man. That man need crutches. He need a little scooter to help him get around. That man face all messed up. He need medical attention bad. Breeze sit here and rewards him by bringing him a Firebird because his car got shot up in the last episode when I thought it was a Firebird. It looks like
I thought it was Camaro.
It might be either. Thought it was
they shared the same body style too around that time.
Same body
style. It's like a Trans, or it could have been a Trans Am because remember Trans Am and Camaro, they shared the same body style too, whatever. Yeah. So it's either a Trans Am, a Camaro, or a Firebird, one of those. But either way,
Pontiac, Chevy, same family.
Same family. Yep. Yeah. Same OEM.
Retro, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, going back to that conversation that we're having right there on the steps, I could be looking a little too deep into this, but couldn't he have dropped a dime on Marvin right there and green lighted Marvin? Does that kind of foreshadow that Marvin don't go out through Kanan?
Exactly. You're exactly
because Breeze don't even know who actually did it to him. Now he's smart enough to know it came with some bullshit from Rock. Now he's smart enough to know that. But he don't know that Marvin actually did that. And if Kanan wanted him dead, you know what I'm saying? That was his opportunity to actually green light, we got to put the boys on him or whatnot.
Good job,
Bob. We got to go see him.
Good job, Bob, because you actually fast tracked to a point that I was going to make later on. But I'll go ahead and address it now. You are absolutely right. So it goes back to what I said earlier about Kanan realizing that this is the consequence that he has to deal with because of what he did to Lou. So at the end of the day, if Marvin would have came and jumped on him and it wouldn't have been justified, in Kanan's own mind, he knows that this ass whooping he took was justified. He know that he earned that, he deserved that. So it ain't even on some, I got to get back at my Uncle Marvin because he put hands on me. He knew why he got his hands ran on him. He knew why those hands got ran on him. So he ain't really trying to send nobody on a witch hunt after Marvin behind that because at the end of the day, he deserved that. He earned that. He earned the ass whooping. That is in his own way being a man and taking his fate for the consequence of what he did. So I don't think that he wanted to send Breeze or anybody else or even him because let's look at him because he could have clapped back at Marvin on his own by now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He could have went back after Marvin on his own by now. So I think that was just him realizing that, it's like he told Jarita, what happened to me is on me. He know that's on him.
He got to eat that.
He got to eat that.
This was my Uncle Marvin. He did this.
He did this to me.
He did this to me. Rock bullshit.
My mother told him to do this to me.
This was Uncle Marvin, and now I gotta handle it. Just me, nobody else. I'm gonna see Uncle Marvin when it's time for me to see Uncle Marvin, and then I'm gonna put Rock down.
Boy, you stupid. On point, but you stupid. Kanan didn't want to take this whip from him, rightfully so. He tells Breeze that, my mother tried to give me a whip one time before, and I ain't accept that shit for him. Breeze go on to tell him that what I told you, we brothers. And that might not mean nothing to you, but that means everything to me. Breeze, stop running this game on Kanan. It ain't working.
Right.
It ain't going. Right. You see this man is at beef right now with his mother. He is at beef with his mother right now and the rest of his family. Do you really think he give a damn about you being his brother? And he's showing you he don't care. So this strategy of yours, Breeze, it ain't working out for you, bro.
That don't matter.
You don't think Breeze believe that he is brother? You don't think
I guess he has to at this point. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make. I guess he has to at this point. I guess he has to believe in his own mind that Kanan is actually his brother So it goes back to number one of my question that I asked in the previous episodes. Does Breeze genuinely believe that he is DEF CON's son and that Kanan is his half brother? In Breeze's mind, he obviously must believe this because he keeps going back to this. He keeps mentioning this. He keeps bringing this up. But is this a plot device to try to control Kanan? If it is, it's a mistake on Breeze's part. And Breeze, being the strategist that he is, he should see that this is not working on Kanan. That I need to switch lanes on Kanan.
So let me
because
ask
this ain't
this.
working.
So let me ask this. So he said he never really ran into DEF CON after everything happened, right? Like after he was born and everything, he never really ran into DEF CON. So Breeze has no idea that DEF CON is even left-handed, correct?
Or Kanan.
Yep.
Nor Kanan. Okay, all right. That was my biggest question because with Breeze being such a strategist and looking at things and analyzing things, I was trying to remember whether or not he actually said that, whether or not he ran into DEF CON afterwards or whatever, but it didn't really matter, whatever. But neither one of them have no idea that he's left-handed. So okay, all right, cool. So if
Or
that's the case,
Bobby.
that if that's the case, that Breeze probably genuinely believes that he is his brother. What he should not genuinely believe is that it matters to Kanan.
Or is it a combination, Bobby? You're
Facts.
right, Jack. Facts on that. Or Bobby, it could be a combination of 1 and 3. Maybe he believes it because Snap and Pop has told him this
Yes.
all his life as well too.
Yes.
So there's a part of this
That's how
that
he gonna get on board with offering them.
yes.
Hmm.
So
That's how he
maybe
gonna get on board.
so maybe what we have been seeing all along and thinking all along, maybe it's two things at the same time. Maybe he does believe it, but maybe he believes it because of what Snap and Pop have
Mhm.
fueled him and fed him all these lies over the year. Because
Hmm.
remember, just like they've been lying to Kanan, they could have very easily been lying to Breeze all this time too.
Oh, I think they for sure have been.
All this
Sure.
time.
All this time.
Hmm.
But Kanan accepts the car reluctantly, but then that little smirk on Breeze's face afterward tells me that he might be trying to play Kanan too. But again, if he is trying to play Kanan, it's just ill placed because this is a weapon of control that he's trying to use on Kanan that ain't gonna work. Kanan don't have no loyalty to no family. Kanan don't give a shit about no goddamn family. Like I said, if it ain't somebody he laying with, that's the only thing that's gonna closely get Kanan to pay attention to something. Other than that, he don't care about you being his brother. Kanan hasn't reacted to that at one time. Every time Breeze brings it up, Kanan doesn't have a genuine or heartfelt or emotional or any type of reaction to Breeze being his brother. Like, word, I've always wanted a brother. Nah, ain't none of that. This
Boy,
ain't
you
no
stupid.
family affair type situation right here. Kanan don't care. All Kanan care about is this work and this money. All right. So who else saw this? That's why I tried to tell somebody. I don't know. I'm not gonna call no names. Somebody was so convinced that Crank was gonna be a version of Ghost. Don't know how we got here. Don't know why we would think that. But I already knew that Crank was a little mouthy. It just totally reminded me of that scene with OC and Unique when OC came in and said, "I gotta go.
I gotta go. You go.
You go."
You going.
Craig sitting here being the HR spokesman. He the union spokesman for all of the workers out here. Got the nerve to tell Katie that this is scary. This is scary out here for me. This is scary.
Craig was the corner's union rep.
He was a union rep trying to tell this man advocate. You see, none of my boys said nothing. Craig in here trying to pop off at the mouth and tell Kanan like, yeah, this some scary stuff out here, and this stuff get kind of scary. I feel like this ain't the first time he said that. And then he had the nerve to comment to Kanan's condition, and that must be why you ain't been around. So Kanan said, "Oh, you scared? Oh, you scared? Bang bang, bang bang.
Don't even worry about it no more.
Don't worry about it. Bang
Don't
bang.
even worry about it.
If you scared, we gonna get you unscared.
If you what, Marvin? What you say?
If you scared, we gonna get you unscared.
We gonna get you unscared." And just like that, Crank is gone. Goodbye, Crank. And Candace said, "No, yo, get the fuck back to work." Like, yeah, So all this is showing us is that Kanan is just like his mother. He reacts to things in emotionally, heat of the moment, and it's all reactionary. But at the same time, he's also operating off of what Breeze told him in that conversation
Yeah,
in the
I was
stairwell.
just about to get ready to say that.
yeah. I was just
Yeah,
about to say that too. I
about
think,
you got to let these boys know that you ain't weak out here. They
Yep.
see you like this, they
Hmm.
gonna think
yeah,
that they can run up on you, and
That
so he
battery
kind
died.
of had to put Crank down because of that. Because Crank was doing exactly what Breeze told him that they were going to do is test him. So because Crank tested him that way in front of the rest of the guys, he kind of had no choice but to put him down.
He had the answer to the test.
Yep, yep. So some of this stuff Kanan reacts to, and then some of it just blows past him. So he listens when he doesn't need to listen. Again, Marvin ain't processing well. And these conversations that he keeps having with himself, with everyone else, with Flossie, with the pastor, with Juke, with Rock, with Lou's gravesite, it led us to believe. So we didn't talk about this, but at the beginning of this episode, we saw the message about the unaliving. So we knew that somebody in this episode was going to unalive themselves. Remember, we only get that message in the
yeah,
episodes about people who attempt
Yep.
to or unalive themselves in this episode. So to me, they were building it up to make us feel like it was going to be Marvin that unalived himself. I would have been really disappointed if that would have been the case, but at the same time, I kind of would have kind of understood it.
I
Would
mean,
this have been a better way for Marvin's character to end? Because we see that Marvin is struggling with every aspect of this. He's over at Lou's gravesite. He's drinking a bottle of Hennessy. And he puts the bottle down, and he even comments. And the fact that he keeps going back to all of these things relating to Lou, he even goes back to the comment that, yo, I'm not gonna pour none out for you, bro, because you were sober when you left here. You were trying to, deal with your issues with alcoholism. So I'm just gonna leave this here and let you do what you want to do. But I don't know what to do about this nephew of ours. And he's continuing to have a hard time dealing with the loss of Lou. It almost felt like, was Marvin gonna delete himself?
I didn't see it from that standpoint.
I ain't
I
see it from that
mean,
standpoint either.
I get what you're saying though. Like, like how you said when we get that warning at the beginning, so I could kind of see it, but I didn't see it from that standpoint. I just looked at it as Mart, with Marvin learning the truth about exactly what happened to him. About the hands of Cain and then Rock finally spilling all the stuff. Like now he really don't know what to do anymore because now that he knows that it was Kanan that took him out, now he just like, yo, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if to take him out or to leave him alone.
He is a gangster, and normally he wouldn't do that, but he's starting to lose that gangster. He's
Hmm.
starting to question who he is and what he has been and what he's doing. And even in this moment right here, he struggles on what to do to celebrate, honor Lou. He doesn't know what to do at this point. So it's a build up. It might not have been a build up for him to unalive himself, but it's definitely a build up to let us know that the character Marvin has a conclusion that we are waiting to see what's going to happen. Whether it's death or jail, we know that this is a build up to Marvin's character no longer being with us, whatever that's going to be. All right, so this was unexpected, but let's talk about Bobby's earlier question here. So we see Rock is at the therapist's office. She goes to see the therapist that was working with Lou when he was at the rehab center, and she's trying to strong arm the therapist into telling her about what Lou said about her during their sessions. And the therapist tells her that that's privileged. And even though that Lou is not here anymore, I can't tell you what those conversations about. And Rock was like, well, what difference does it make? He ain't here no more. What it gonna hurt? She's desperately trying to find closure on her own. And she's struggling with that. And because she's doing this behind the scenes, that tells me right there that she's struggling with this in her own way that we have not seen on screen. We have
Hmm.
not seen how we've seen with Marvin, how he's trying to make closure of this situation. Rock is now trying to find that closure within herself by simply learning How did her brother truly feel about her? So it kind of fuels the speculation that Rock is going to break down because of all this. She's going to have a complete meltdown over all this. Whether it leads to her being institutionalized, I don't think so. Maybe not so, but I do think that it is fueling, it is lighting a wick that's slowly burning to Rock having an ultimate meltdown over what has happened, not just with Lou, but with everything. Her losing the business, her losing Marvin, her losing Kanan, her losing her credibility, her power. I think all that is going to come down on her. Whether it leads to her being in a mental institution or not, I don't know. I don't think the writers is that creative to give us that. It would be very surprising if they did. But I do agree that all of this is breaking her down.
Well, to what Bobby said, I looked at this from two point of views. I looked at it like how Bobby said that. Yeah, she gonna end up breaking down. She's gonna go to the.
Now I got that from him too, by the way. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So
You
she's
know
gonna
what
go
I'm
into a mental institution. But I also looked at it as she went to, I guess, to kind of make sure that Lou didn't say anything that would possibly, I guess, put her in prison. Or
No,
like
no, 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 no,
family
no,
business.
no. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that.
I looked at it because the reason why she wanted to hear what Luke was saying was like, yo, let me make sure like he didn't say anything that's gonna get us jammed up. That's how I looked at it.
No. Remember, that was Olga's plot device. This is coming off of the heels of her conversation with Olga, and Olga telling her what Jessica said about her, that Lou said about her, that he wanted to be just like you. So she's now looking for confirmation for that. She's now looking for someone else to confirm that Lou felt that way about her. So she's operating off of that battery that Olga put in her back earlier in the episode. And I do think that's what they are showing us, Dexter. That's a very good point. Maybe it's simply they're just showing Rock evolving into her mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think they more so looking for. I think that when it was mentioned, she mentioned when Lou first passed, and Marvin told her, you don't seem upset about this, and she told Marvin, everybody grieves differently. I think she's more so looking for some sort of reconciliation or some kind of closure with she's going through this whole thing. Is she really a bad person? Is she as bad as everybody say she is?
Exactly.
I think that's what she's trying to find out, how Lou really felt about her, so it can bring her some kind of peace, some kind of peace or some kind of resolve with how Lou really felt about her, because she don't know. So she's fishing for any way she can to make that, to reassure herself that she wasn't a bad person. Lou didn't think that she was a bad person.
Okay, I agree with that. So with that being said, and with you seeing this episode, now do you still feel like her ending is going to be centered around her going to a mental institution?
Yes.
Or have we satisfied Rock's ending by seeing what her struggle is in this episode?
I think she's still going to end up maybe in some sort of mental institution. I definitely believe that. I think that with the things going on, the therapist here, he basically told her, like, unalived or not, I got nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you anything. So she's not getting what she wants. She's not getting the answer she wants right now. I think that personally, yeah, she's going to end up in a mental institution. I still believe it.
All right, let's see what happens.
I think a line that I take from this conversation, now that OG brought it up, is that the therapist was like, every time you sit on this couch, it's about you.
Yep.
And normally, when she's out and dealing with everything else, she's dealing with more than just her. She's dealing with whatever Marvin got going on, whatever Juke got going on. Juke and Butter Marvin his cleanups, Lou and his drinking, Kanan cleaning up whatever it is that she got to clean up. But now everything is going to be just about her and solely about her, which I think she never even got a chance to receive. So now that OG brings it up and I've like replayed this scene in my head, I think her fate is going to be a mental institution.
Good point, fellas. Good point, fellas. Hearing these comments and hearing your guys' POVs on this, I still don't know whether or not it leads us to a mental institution. Again, I don't think the writers are that creative to take us down that path. But I do think that what it's building up to is all this is coming down on Rock. Jack, you just explained it perfectly with all of the different things that's happened. She's had to deal with one problem after another on top of another one, with all that stuff that was going on with Howard and trying to keep that a secret, and about DEF CON, with all the stuff that was going on with Unique and her relationship and her deleting the child, with all of the situation that was going on with trying to keep law enforcement off of their heels, with what happened over there at Baisley's, Lou's drinking, Kanan's out here wilding out, Jukebox don't turn her back on her, the situation with her mama and their past, all this stuff Rock has had to be a rock for. And she's had to not deal with this where the rest of the family had the opportunity to deal with this. The rest of the family had the opportunity to spend time with Joyce and deal with their feelings regarding Joyce. Rock ran from that. Rock has always had to deal with immediate threats, and she's never had time to sit down and process these things as they're happening to her. It's move on to the next problem, move on to I got to get this work going. So M2, you might have something here, and I'll be the first to give you your flowers on that because you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I don't see the outcome as the same. I see exactly what it is that you're seeing, that all this is coming down on her and all this is going to blow up on her at one point, but what's going to be reaction to that? Rock going to a mental institution. If that does happen, it does not happen here in Raising Kanan. I think that happens later on in Origins, if that's the case.
Yeah,
and maybe that is what happens to her, because if she is truly turning into her mother, remember her mother ended in palliative care, so to speak. She was in a debilitated state. So maybe the end of Rock does result into her being in a debilitated state.
Now, if Rock money works for her and she gets caught up for any crime, she could end up pleading insanity too.
That's a good point. Maybe she plays crazy. Maybe she plays crazy if this backs up on her. Okay, that's a good point. And I think that is her worst fear.
Chigante, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
one of those.
Yeah,
old Chin.
Yeah, that he played crazy walking around the streets in the road. Yeah, so I can see that.
Or for those who watch All the Queen's Men, same thing with Madam's dad. Remember, he played like he had Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah,
to keep the feds off of him. So maybe this is a cop. Maybe this.
I mean, a good lawyer can get you off like that. I mean, if her money worked for her.
Well, Unique put down that good lawyer that she had. She had a lawyer that
she had the best.
Yeah, she had the best. She had one that could spin that narrative for her, but Unique put him in the ground.
Put him down ASAP.
Man, Garcia, he don't had a long day of snooping around, and then everybody else's business come to the house. He get ready to lay it down for the night when Baptiste pulled up on him and said, "Oh, you ruined my night, so I'm finna ruin yours." Who else thought in this moment that Baptiste was getting ready to up on him?
Yes,
I did.
I did.
I definitely did.
I thought he was out of there.
Okay, we all
100%.
We all thought this was the end of
Garcia. End yours.
Yes, I'm gonna end yours.
Mine up. I'm gonna end yours.
We all thought that.
Yeah.
We all.
I thought as soon as he turned around, he was getting situated.
Yep.
Bang, 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 Marvin. When we say bang, bang, we are the authority.
We are the authority.
Bang bang. That's what we were looking for right here. We were looking for the bang bang. We did not expect to have this sitting out by the fire in the backyard reminiscing. And so
Garcia should have arrested his ass.
We should have been arrested. I was thinking the same thing. Bro, we are on point with that. I was thinking the same thing. Like, okay, at the end of this confession, Garcia is going to slap the cuffs on him and take him down to Tanner.
But I didn't think that only because it's gonna be his word against his. Like unless he was recording what Baptiste said, like that's why they think. I figured he didn't throw the cups on him because of that. Number one and number two, he looked up to him
Yeah,
and realized like, yo, I can't believe that this person I looked up to is dirty.
yeah.
Yeah, in that
Uh,
moment, I don't even know if he was a cop. He was just listening.
he was listening as
Yeah.
well. Actually, he also sees the emotional state that Baptiste is in this
Hmm.
moment. Captain Baptiste tells him that, listen, you don't go as long as I did in my career and as far as I did in my career. It's all about the clearance rate. We've seen that in other shows. We've seen that with the police, that they don't care about what's right, what's wrong, whatever. All they care about is closing a case.
Yeah.
And he said that of all the years that, it's a fine line, it's a thin line that you got to walk. And then he starts talking about these OG gangsters rode up on me and was basically like, look, this is an important thing for us as the audience to come to realization with, which we have already came to that realization, that Snap and Pop has been obsessed with Rock.
Yep.
We have yet to understand why, but everything that has anything to do with Rock, they took an interest in it.
It's
So
because she killed DEFCON.
I don't think so.
I don't think she did either.
I think they
He
did.
said
I
DEFCON
think
was an
they did, and
honor
they're trying to
though.
pin it up on Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Can't count them out on that. That'd be a hell of a plot twist.
I think they did, and they're trying to pin Rock up on that because everybody hates Chris, everybody hates Rock.
Yeah.
You stepped in the mud puddle today, Rock put it there. I got a flat tire today, Rock did it. Everything wrong that happens, that whether they put the story out there or if someone comes to them, remember, they didn't put this out there until they heard Kanan say it.
Mm-hmm.
Until they heard Kanan say, I think my mother got something to do with this. They just confirmed it for him. They made it easy for
Yep.
to fuel his own suspicions about. So anything that got anything to do with Rock, or is it because Rock was a force that they couldn't control? Was it the same thing that Stefano's over there trying to do is what Snap and Pop was trying to do with Rock? They were trying to dead Rock's business because her business was kind of backing up on theirs. Like they couldn't control Rock. She didn't work for them. They weren't getting a taste of her business or whatever. So were they trying to eliminate Rock because she's a threat? Or were they trying to eliminate, or were they trying to pin this whole DEF CON thing situation on Rock because they got rid of him because they couldn't control him either? There's a bigger motive behind Snaps and Pop's obsession with Rock, and maybe we learn that next week before they get put down.
I will hope so. I think it was just more
I
so
will hope
because
so,
Kanan
too.
was against him.
Yeah, exactly, Jam Rock. Everyone fails to remember that Rock was a young girl when DEF CON got put down, and she was a CI that was being ran through by Howard. So I mean, she was getting ran up in and ran through by Howard. So was Rock mind really in the game at that time? To me, it felt like the story showed us that Rock really didn't get into the game until she was fucking with High Post. It was High
Right.
Post that moved in with her. It was High Post that showed her the ways of the Rock was a young girl when she was running with
Yep.
DEF CON and Howard. So she was getting ran through, and all she was a cover for DEF CON. I don't think she had her eyes set on the business because keep in mind, during that time, Marvin was running the business.
Yep.
Right.
It wasn't until Marvin got sent to Elmira, it wasn't until Hoppo stepped in that we started seeing Rock have ambitions, or we learned that Rock had ambitions on wanting to carry over the game. Now, if y'all said that she did all this to High Post, I would believe that. But I think that whatever happened with DEF CON is because of Bonnie and Clyde. Now, that's just my thought.
I am 100% with you on that. I think Rock didn't
I
have nothing to
agree.
do with Bonnie and Clyde. I think there's a secret that everybody knows about DEF CON being left-handed that they also trying to bury. I think that's something behind that as well. And they just pushing it all on Rock. It's easier to push it all on Rock because it's believable.
Exactly. Well, keep in
Because
mind, Snap
Snap is
said,
lover.
yeah, Snap. Well, no, Snap might be his lover.
Watch it come out.
Or Ronnie was.
Or Ronnie was. I was about to say Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie was. But remember, Pop said in one of those sit downs with Ronnie that she never known for DEF CON to fuck with any other girls besides Rock. So this
Mhm.
whole situation with Breeze's mom, see,
Mhm.
all this feels like a narrative that Bonnie and Clyde has painted. to control the narrative the way they wanted. They know that Kanan ain't DEF CON child either. They know that. They know that. They too much in the streets for them not to know it.
It's over
And
if
they got
Breeze find out.
and they got police officers in their pocket too. So they have to know, way more than what they letting on. And I have to truly think that by DEF CON name ringing in the streets the way that it is, they don't want to taint whatever legacy it is, which I don't understand
Exactly.
why they're holding on to that legacy, but they don't want to taint whatever legacy it is. So this has been the story and this narrative that they've been spinning for years and years on that now they have to protect, which also made me feel like they have something that they're hiding that they're protecting as well.
Exactly. Well, what they're protecting is Kanan's legacy because they got money on the street with Kanan right now. So protecting DEF CON's legacy is really keeping Kanan's street cred where it needs to be in order to protect their investment in Kanan and their money on the street. So I think that's the only reason why. But you're right. I think they're protecting something else that they're hiding. I think we're going to learn all of that. We need to, let me just rephrase. I don't know if we're going to learn it or not, but it would be a good resolution to their characters for us to learn what motivated them, their hate for Rock so much.
And I don't want you to think I'm just talking crazy when I say Snaps might have been. I'll get them mixed up. Is Snaps the guy?
Yeah, Snap the guy.
Okay. That Snaps might have been like DEF CON's lover. Think about how Pops is so quick to flirt with other men right there in front of him when Marvin come around.
Exactly.
Or
when Ronnie came around,
Ronnie came back.
Yep.
It's like she got the green light. It's like they're open. It's like they got an open relationship.
Open relationship. I got those vibes too, and I thought it's funny you should say that, Bobby, because I felt that way. I felt exactly what you're just saying when they first introduced the character. When they first introduced the characters and she felt Ronnie up and was talking about his prison body and all that, I was like, damn, they must have an open relationship.
I forgot about that, yo.
Yeah.
They must have an open relationship. So what you're seeing and what you're feeling, I felt that way back when they first introduced those characters. So the fact that you're still feeling that way, there could be some truth to that. Because keep in mind, they never had kids either. They never had any type of, and remember in one episode, they even talked about sleeping in separate beds. They talked about sleeping in separate beds, so you might be onto something there with that. There might be some little subtle plot twist that's been planted that maybe Snaps and DEF CON was something. And maybe that's why they put that whole story out about Breeze being DEF CON's son and all that to continue to protect his legacy on that side. Just like Rock was trying to protect it on her side by putting Howard's baby on DEF CON, maybe Snap was trying to protect his relationship with DEF CON by putting Breeze on him. So you might be on to something, bro.
I agree. That would be a dope plot twist, but I see with just 2 episodes left, I don't think we're gonna see that.
The only way that if we're going to go down that rabbit hole, it has to roll over into Origins. There's no way that we're going to get all that next week.
Yeah, they might die before it actually come out.
They might die before the truth comes out.
Oh shoot! I almost got them predicting to be eliminated next episode.
They need to go.
Right.
They need to go. They need to go next episode. But I don't know if we're going to get some confirmation to some of these things that we're suspicious of before they go. In conversation just between the two of them. That's a good way to give that to us. Just confirmation with a conversation between the two of them before they go in this episode. Because it seemed like to me we're going to get a few scenes with them. We're not just going to shoot to the scene that they get unalived in. We're going to have some build up to that. So in those scenes that we have conversations between Ishmael and Stephanie, maybe some of these real revelations comes out. Marvin, why you keep going over here to this woman's house? Why you keep spending all this time with this YT lady? What you going over here for? I get that you're going over here because she's a listening ear. She's a calm place. She's a place for you to go sip some yak with and shoot the shit. But y'all ain't fucking on each other. And at first we was looking for that chemistry. We was thinking that that's where they were going with that. But obviously they're not going with that. They're going with that as she being a source of peace for Marvin. What are they giving us here? Why do we need this?
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what they're doing with this. I don't know what they're doing here, Jack. I can't figure it out.
I thought they was gonna build a relationship between them at one moment, but then nah, I just don't see it.
Or is this is a stretch, and I hate to go with some of these far-fetched theories that be out here, because some of this stuff that these people be coming up with, I'm like, what show are y'all watching? Or is this a build-up? Because typically in the same episode we see Flossie, we also see the little white girl. Is this a build-up for Flossie, for Marvin to facilitate Flossie replacing her lost daughter with Amber?
I hope not.
I hope not either. I just can't figure out what other substance we're getting from this. Every time Marvin go over there, there's always a conversation about the daughter. There's always a pan shot to the picture of the daughter sitting on the coffee table or the table. I just don't know what they're trying to give us here. What is this build up? If this was a 10 episode build up, then these moments would matter. But I don't know. Is this a build up for Marvin to go work for Flossie? Is this a build up for them to sleep together? Is this a build up for them to give each other peace in some way, shape, form, or fashion? They're connecting over grief.
I think it's more so to give each other peace. And I do agree with what you just said as far as Amber. I do think that there's going to be one way of Marvin keeping that secret, because again, the Amber keep putting emphasis that they're threatening to take me away from my foster family. So
she's mentioning it every time. Exactly.
That could be. You might be on to something, CG. Might be on to something.
It just feels like something is supposed to be here. It feels like it's something that we're supposed to pay attention to, because they keep showing it over and over again. And I get it, it's Sasha Penn's wife, so they want to give her screen time and they want to make sure she get a check. I get that. Let's get Flossie a check because she's the showrunner's wife. I get that. But more so, it feels like there's something there that we're supposed to be paying attention to. And now it's more than just a love twist. It's more than just physical chemistry between the two characters. There seems like there's something there that we should be paying attention to.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So Marvin asked her in this scene right here, did you feel better after you put down your daughter's unaliver? And she was like, no.
That was it.
And she tells him, put all of your focus on who's here. You worried about who's gone. And she right. She right, because I don't know if everyone on here has experienced the same loss as me and Jack have in our life. But sometimes when you lose people, you tend to spend time thinking about that person that you lost and less focus on the ones that you still have here. So when she said that, I understood that message just from personal experience.
Loud and clear
that you know, you can't spend time grieving and worrying about what you could do for the person that's gone. You need to worry about the people that are still here for you, and the people that are still here in your life. What can you do for them so that their outcome doesn't remain the same? So I understood that message, and maybe that's what this is. Maybe that is to give Marvin that push that he needs to make his next decision, which I'm going to share that with you all later on. Okay, so we got a gangsters meeting here with Morris Day and the Time and Stefano. And I'm just so sick of Stefano just whining about Rock every episode. I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this scene. We don't care. Basically, he strong arms Hafiz into dumping Rock, supplying her. We're gonna give you a 5% increase on whatever she was paying you. Stop supplying her work, blah, 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 blah. We don't care. And Breeze steps in, and this is another thing that lets me know that he's perfectly fine with running these little side hustles outside of Bonnie and Clyde, because Hafiz asked him, he was like, y'all got all this work, what you gonna do about your current supplier? And he was like, oh, there's plenty of work for all of this. His ultimate goal is to eliminate his dealings with Snap and Pop so he can do what he want to do. So that's what I see in this. When I seen Captain Baptiste looking at all his honors,
I already knew,
and he put the white gloves on, he was dressing himself for his funeral.
On the wall.
He was dressing himself for his funeral. I instantly knew right then and there from the message. him putting them white gloves on, and that's how they dress them when they get ready to send them on home.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, it's gonna be Captain Baptiste that put himself down. Why is this man feeling this way? Why?
I said he was going to a funeral.
Yep, you did.
Yeah, that's why. Remember, Bobby, I told you. I said, yeah. I said you was the closest one with that. I said you was on point with that when you made that
I just
statement.
didn't know it was gonna be his own.
Yeah, I.
Yeah,
I
because
That
you
was the
remember you
twist.
thought he was going to Garcia's funeral. I think we talked about that. Maybe it was him
Yeah,
going to
maybe
Garcia's
Garcia.
funeral.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe.
Mhm.
I remember
Because
that.
Juke got a, I thought Juke might have unalived him.
You were the
I think
closest to this though. You saw this.
think it
Okay,
was
thank
guilt.
you, Jan Rock. It was guilt. I just
That's
couldn't
what.
understand
Yeah,
what
yeah.
put him down. I guess by Garcia bringing all this up
Mm-hmm.
and
Bro, he
letting
was
him
gonna die
know.
regardless. Snap and Pop's gonna get him, bro.
Yeah, they were gonna get him.
Yeah.
He out of there.
Or is it because of the whole situation with Howard, no closure? The whole situation with Burt, no closure. I just turned this kid over to these gangsters. He got unalive, no closure. I don't got lost my job, and now the FBI coming down on me. I got the
I
yeah,
also think
it's guilt.
it could have been. I also think that it could have been the fact that when he kind of when he well not kind of when he confessed to Garcia, he said Garcia was the only
Clean cop.
straight cop in the
Yep.
17th precinct.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he thought that upon telling Garcia what he had did, Garcia was gonna go back and basically, tell Tanner, which would have confirmed what Tanner told him, and then he's indicted for it. So
Big fact.
it was go to jail, and you know what happened when cops go to jail, or I unalive myself.
Big fact, bro. Big fact. Okay, understood. Message received. And just like that, Baptiste is gone. He already dressed for his own funeral. We don't need this. And again, I'm going to ask the same question I always ask. Who let this little white girl go hang out with these colored
Right.
folk?
I was thinking that same thing.
Who is letting this little white girl go hang out with these colored folk with these play dates? I mean, they don't took her for ice cream. She out here in the park or whatever. Marvin wants both of his girls. Marvin, why are you accepting responsibility for this child? It's an honorable thing for you to do, but this is not your responsibility. If you wanted
Noble.
to see about this child, it's noble, but at the same time, you should be doing this from a distance. Remember when he first came back and he was leaving money on the side? If he was doing something like that for the little girl, I could see that. If he was doing that through a third party, if he was looking after the little girl through a third party where he's got some insulation between him and his interaction with the little girl, then yes, I can understand it. But Marvin, you hot. You hot right now. And this little girl
And this gonna put the pieces together.
Exactly. This little girl keep bringing up the conversation. And Marvin, this ain't no. You're a gangster. You're a gangster. Her daddy did the same thing to you. You should be automatically suspicious about all this. Like all this backing up too much. Little girl, why you keep bringing this subject up? Like after I put those people down for you that day, this ain't something we should ever talk about again. Why you keep bringing this up with this little pink jacket on with a bug in it? This little girl is trouble. And Juke heard it for the first time herself, which I had said in the last episode. Juke don't know this little girl. She just got introduced to the little girl. Juke heard what the little girl said. They keep asking me, Uncle Marvin, I don't want you to go anywhere either. But they keep telling me that there's a black dude. But I told him I got confused and scared. I don't know what to say, Uncle Marvin. Jukebox heard that instantly and said, "Look, girl, go swing on the swings real quick.
Go over there and play.
Go play real quick." And she looked at Marvin. I was waiting for her to unload on Marvin. Like, what have you done? Like, do you realize that we got to put a little girl away now? Like, what you got going on? And the fact that Marvin wasn't even forthright with Juke on what happened. When he could have answered her question by simply saying, "It's similar to the situation I did for you and your homegirl. It was a situation I done to help somebody out that was in trouble."
Yeah.
All he had to look to her and say, "Remember that thing we did up there with your homegirl and her husband? It was one of them situations." And Juke would have had better understanding as to why Marvin is in the middle of this. But he didn't answer that in a way that she understood why this is backing up on him. And the fact that he tells her in this scene right here, yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and go talk to that cop about that. Big mistake. That was a mistake.
Yep.
That was a mistake. I'm gonna tell you why. We got this $5 super chat from DeMarcus. I need to respond to. Snaps will eliminate Garcia next episode, which prevents Garcia from doing a favor for Jukebox to save Marvin's life. Jukebox will eliminate Snaps. I don't think that Snap and Pop are even going to find out that Garcia knows about what Captain Baptiste. Now, they may find it a little suspicious that Captain Baptiste is unalive, and that might put them on alert. But I don't think there's a way for them to know what Garcia knows.
Yep.
I don't think there's a way for them to know what Captain Baptiste may have told Garcia or anyone else for that matter. I don't think there's a way for them to know that. So I don't see the need for Garcia to be eliminated by Snaps. I think this episode right here shows us what Garcia's purpose is going to be going forward. We'll talk about that in a minute. What y'all think about this scene right here? I know I can't be the only one that feels like they keep showing us this. Whatever happens to Marvin, it's definitely got something to do with this little girl.
I agree.
Absolutely.
But I was with you. I was trying to figure out, like, how is he able to see this little girl with, like, nobody around? Like, how? Like, what?
At
like,
the ice cream shop.
Yeah, it was like, we got the ice cream shop. Like,
at the
you
park.
just out in a park. Like, how is it? Like, even when he would remember, he visited the school last season, and somebody said something to him about it.
One of the teachers.
Yo, how were you able to just? Oh, let me just go see this little girl, and like, there's nobody around. There's nothing.
How did she get to the park?
Exactly.
You would think that she would be there with her parents.
So I was confused
and her
by this
siblings.
whole scene. But the only thing that keeps telling me is that Marvin is going to go to jail behind Amber. That's the only thing for eliminating, the family that Amber was with. That's the only thing I keep seeing, because I feel like if not, it's no purpose of putting Amber in this season. This is what, the third episode we got her in?
And this many episodes. We didn't even see her this much in a season where we needed to see her that much.
Yeah. So
Marvin
I feel
could
like
get the needle for
only
that.
reason. What do you say, Bobby?
But to be quite
Marvin
honest
could
with
get
you,
the needle.
yeah, that's true. I mean, he a black man and he don't put down two white people.
Yeah.
But at the
Two
end of the
foster
day,
parents.
the little girl can also, but the fact that she's lied and then come clean and tell the truth. But the truth of the matter is she was in an abusive home. She was being beaten and abused, neglected, malnutrition, locked in a room with a younger child that she was caring for. So, I mean, what Marvin did was, in a sense, kind of like I'm not going to say self-defense, but it was a situation where he just didn't go in there and unalive these people because they pulled on him first. And they tried to attack him first. He was really going in there to try to rescue the child. But you're right, though. I mean, he could get the needle for this. And that might be how we, and maybe that's right. Maybe, again, I feel like if that happens, that's got to spill over in the origins. All that's not going to happen in the last 2 episodes of Raising Kanan. I feel like if this is Marvin's fate and he ends up getting a death penalty for unaliving these YT people, which we know you're a black man and 2 YT people, that's not from the realm of
I think they both make it to Origins, bro.
Yeah, I do too.
That's my prediction. I don't think they die in Raising Kanan. I think they both make it.
And then that's probably where we might see one of they,
we still have not gotten to the ruthlessness of Jukebox. We've seen bits and pieces of it. And I will go back to my initial thought on this. Does Jukebox get rid of this little girl? Does she get rid of this threat for Marvin?
Whatever it is, it's brewing.
It's brewing.
It's
so
brewing.
when she turned and looked at her, when she turned and looked at Marvin, she gave Marvin that, "What have you done? I got to go clean this mess up for you" type look. It just make me feel like Jukebox is going to act on her own accord to resolve this issue, much like she's been trying to do with the whole Garcia thing. She did it on her own because she thought she was helping the family. Yes, I feel that. I feel like whatever was going to happen to this little girl, Jukebox is going to be at the center point of it. Marvin out here trying to do something because she keeps saying it over and over again. I'm going to look out for him. I'm going to protect him. I've got his back. So it just feels like it's a build up to Jukebox dealing with this Amber problem since Marvin can't bring himself to deal with it. Kanan over here advocate, and I'm glad that they're starting to show us more of Breeze in his apartment because it's reminding us of a continuity thing when Kanan unalived the old lady back in OG Power with the Jesus Love pillow, and he wanted that apartment because that was Breeze's apartment. So I'm glad that they're giving us that for continuity. And chess and all that. Now what we need to see is Kanan sit down playing chess with Breeze. We need to see that. Kanan over here trying to recruit or justify his actions with Crank and, going after Marvin and Rock, and Breeze is like, I don't told you one time what y'all got going on. That ain't got nothing to do with our business. She going after you. Y'all got a problem with each other that y'all need to resolve. I ain't getting in the middle of that. I don't blame Breeze for that. I don't blame Breeze for that, because, in other words, and he's also telling Kanan that you need to settle down all this noise too that you creating out here too, because at the end of the day, you creating unnecessary problems for us. Like every time you go do something to them, they go do something back to you. So in other words, like again, going back to the same thing he said to Stefano earlier, sometimes the best response is no reaction at all. We deal with the problem another way, but all this noise that y'all out here making ain't doing good for our cause. This ain't got nothing to do with our work. Our work is good. Their work is falling apart. So why are you out here reacting to every little thing they do? We out here winning. They losing.
100%.
100% agree.
What is Kanan's goal here?
I don't think he necessarily got one. He's going to piss Rock off.
Or is it just for him trying to be the man? He's just trying to be the man and try to prove to everyone that his mother, he ain't scared of his mother, and he this and he that. I mean, I don't understand what Kanan's motivation is.
I think he was trying to put a battery in his back just the same way Breeze is trying to put a battery in his.
I can see that.
Okay. Girl down bad like this. I hate to see my girl down bad like this, begging for work, begging for a place. She over here at Hafiz's place, and she gets her 2-week notice. I don't know. She might get her immediate termination papers at this point that your services have been terminated. You're no longer needed. And Rock was like, wait a minute. We can work this out now. Wait a minute. She was like, just because you working with somebody else, I'll never get in the way of your money. We can work together. You can supply them and me. And she's like, what about all that shit you talking about where you was telling me that it's good to be unalive rather than go back on your promise? It's bad to see Rock like this.
Yeah. But I knew in this scene right here, I was like, and remember, go back to, we was close in our predictions, but I knew in this scene right here, I was like, oh yeah, somebody getting taken out. Y'all getting eliminated. Somebody's getting knocked off the board.
But in the past, Rock has moved so much more smart. Like, why wouldn't you just go to Pino for help? Like, why wouldn't you go tell him that Stefano has blew up the business? Why wouldn't you just go tell him that? Like, you always, hey, we got to sit back and wait, see what happens, see what they want to do. You always say that, but,
I
we all
swear I
know
was thinking
what
the
happens
same thing.
next.
I swear I was thinking the same thing when I saw the scene. She even normally moves a little bit more. Let's sit back. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. You know, immediately she going straight up under the bed. Going for the blick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, nah, Rod. Just say, but she's desperate. And she's desperate. She's dealing with grief. She got a lot going on. Not making no excuses for her, but she probably should have went to Pino on this
And she's lost yet another partner and another work because she already lost Joaquin. So the last little bit of work that she is getting right now is now gone. So she knows right now that she got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to go snatch her up and she yanked her arm back, and I was just like, yeah, she threw. But she made a mistake here when she threatened him. She threatened him, and she was like, oh, you don't know who I am, but you're about to find out. Like, You might as well should have just, I mean, you just pretty
Shot
much told
somebody
her to
right
suck
there.
it.
I
He
You
was
were
did
right
right
in
at
your
there
that
on the
face.
point.
point. Right. Yeah. Threw a bomb in the building after you left or something. I mean, like at this point, Rock, you sealed your own fate. Next week she gonna lose Flossie. I agree. Next week she gonna lose Pino. She ain't got no way to pay these people no more. Remember, she got to give all of them a taste. She got to
Yep.
give Flossie a taste. She got to give Pino a taste. So she ain't got no more money to give. She already sold off her shopping center and gave that money up to pay Pino off the first time and to pay for all her work. So Rock down bad
This is when you take your ball and you
and
go
go
home.
home. I'm coming to get you, Rock. I mean, I'm coming to get you, man. We gonna come pack that house up, Rock. We're gonna sell the house. We're gonna take a little
Get
bit
the
of money that we
U-Hauls,
got from
Rock.
the house. And we're gonna go and get you an apartment in Raleigh, North Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina. We're gonna come get you set up, Rock. We got you, Rock. We're gonna come slide for you real quick, and we're gonna get you up out of New York right now because it's time for you to leave.
I think Pino gonna get her another connect.
You should take a lesson from Uniques.
For sure.
Right.
Oh, that's a good. Or okay, we have been struggling with the notion of what brings Tremont back into the we've been struggling with what brings Tremont back into the story for Origins.
Mm-hmm.
So does she go back to Tremont and work with him? Does she go
Wouldn't
back to
that be a
Tremont and
flip
work
if
with
she
him?
actually needed him? Oh, he would love that.
I can, now that you said that,
She ain't got
I
no other
can
work.
see it. I would hate it if that's what happens, but I can see it now that you said it.
Trayvon gonna love it though.
That's
Or I like whoever said, I think it was Marvin that said that maybe Pino gives her another connect.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. It could be Pino or Tremont, but I think what you saying, Tremont, that could be the one.
Or here was my theory. I was gonna save it for the predictions, but here's my theory. Or does her and Kanan end up healing or patching up old wounds, and Kanan just starts taking care of his mom?
Nah.
I think Rock out of the game. I think Rock out of the game. Rock
Yeah,
out of the game.
that's-
Ain't no more horse
yeah.
for Rock the ride.
She
Yeah.
might have done struck out.
And
Out of the game,
especially
gone
given
crazy.
what happens to Marvin, whether it's death or jail, she loses her number one rider. She don't lost everything else around her. Rock is out of the game. Rock is retired. Whether she wants to be out or not is another story. But I think this has shown us that Rock has no more cards to play.
Yeah,
She
I
through.
agree.
Because her next move is so stupid.
This that's what I'm saying. She through.
It's stupid.
I
Juke
think
me.
this that brings about transparency with Rock. She always been, I got it under control. I can handle this. I think she gonna have to tell Pino that Stefano has something to do with her connects being taken out, and before Pino can touch Stefano, I think Breeze is gonna be the one to get him out the way.
I can see that.
Clear path.
Do you think
Yep.
so?
I can see it.
I think so.
I can see that.
Okay. All right.
And this was stupid right here, giving the money back.
Yeah, he should have spent that money. That money should have been already spent.
Man, what? He got one on the
Just
way.
that.
He tripping him
Yeah,
too.
that money should have been spent.
He tripping. He got one on
Not
the
just-
way.
I would have
just-
kept the money and told her the same thing. Like, look, we even. I got you what you needed, but look, I'm out. I can't do this no more. I can't
Not
do this
just
no more.
that. I mean, the code of the street. You can't be paid off. Now you done got in bed with the gangsters.
And then give the money back and give a
You
refund.
Hey, that like on barbershop. You can't just renege.
Yeah.
Right. You can't just
when
renege.
Cube tried to get the money back.
Yep. You
Because-
already signed. You already signed your name. And then keep in mind, you were the one that was threatening this girl and telling her what you were going to do to her if you didn't get the money. So now you can't go back and say, "I'll take all that back."
But I think it was the same way how we said about Baptiste. It was guilt. After he
Guilt.
talked to Tanner, and Tanner told him he's the only clean officer
Yep.
in that department. And then he happens to find out like Baptiste is really dirty. He like, yeah, nah, I can't do this because
I want to be better than that.
yeah, I want to be better. I can't go out as being a dirty cop. So immediately when he gave the fund, I would have thought the same thing. He would have spent the money up. But when he gave it back, I understood. I was like, okay, you're giving it back from hearing what Tanner said about you, that you are the cleanest cop in the department. So like, yeah, let me get his money back, and then find out Baptiste is dirty. You really was like, okay, yeah, nah, I gotta get this all back. Like, nah, I'm not about to go out like this. I'm not about to go out like Howard or any other dirty cops. I'm gonna go out clean on my own terms.
Big facts. Where I think what I think a mistake was when he gives Juke the information that she needed to know. This was confirmation that we needed to hear Juke here. So he confirms with Juke. For those of you who didn't hear it, he absolutely told Juke that it was Snap and Pop that ordered the hit for Famous.
Yep.
So it was a transition scene between Rock getting put out of the people's house and them switching to this scene where you hear him say it was Snaps and Pop. So the conversation starts off from there. And he says, look, this is the information you wanted. I can't do nothing else for you. Here go your ends back. I'm out. And Juke says, okay, cool, because I ain't, you know what, I'm glad, because I didn't know what I was doing either. You see, I struggled to get you your first payment and everything, so this works. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone type thing. But I need one more favor. And she should have gave him the money back and said, look, just take this as a, a gift. But I need one last favor. And this is a big one, so I need you to take this money back. I ain't going to bother you no more about it. She should have cleaned that up.
I took Marvin half out of it first, though.
Yeah,
go pay my dad
that
back.
up a little bit. She should have tied him.
Yeah, you take the rest of this.
She should have tied him to that favor, because she's giving him information without any risk on his end. In other words, she could have been able to say, well, he took a payoff for this as well. But you gave him information about Marvin and this thing, that's something that wasn't even on his radar. So now
my perspective was the opposite.
Now you've given him something for him to go and investigate legitimately and put the cuffs on Marvin.
I don't even think that's gonna happen.
I think so. I think this is how Marvin gets tied up. Is Garcia? This is Garcia's win right here. He got a clean case that he can go and clear right now. He got a clean case that he can go and clear right now.
Double murder.
A double murder.
Man, you just crushed me, Retro, man. I'm finna get off here, man.
And he gonna put Marvin in jail behind it. This is gonna be how it happens.
Oh man, that's so possible.
The unhinged Juke.
Exactly. This is how it's gonna be happening, because she put her trust in him, and there's nothing to hold him. There's nothing to hold him down. When she took that money back, she should have gave that money back to him and said, "No, I need you to keep that. I need you to do one more favor for me." Right now, he go take this straight to Tanner. This is how he gets his promotion. This is how we get Marvin off of the streets. Dummy. This was a mistake.
That could be what makes Juke be so dark, because she's gonna get rid of Garcia.
Let him walk out of here with this information that he didn't already know about. If it was one thing, he knew about it already, but you put a battery in his back for him to go clear a double murder of 2 YT people. What you think finna happen, yo? Watch what I say. Go to jail, Marvin.
It's better than a needle.
It is better than, well, no, this is how you gonna get the needle. This is how you get the needle right here.
I'm saying if you go to jail, though. If you beat the needle.
Unless Breeze put him down in their shootout next week. Speaking of people, everybody getting fired in these episodes and quitting, and Jarita come in and quit on the spot. She didn't even put a 2-week notice in. She said, nah, this ain't no longer me. And Flossie tell her, well, you were never really cut out for this job anyway, but then why did you bring her to the table? Why did you bring her to the table to tell Rock, this is one of my best girls right here, if you always felt like she wasn't cut out for this work anyway? Continuity issue. Salty in her feelings. Oh, you ain't gonna quit on me, I'm firing you. You fired. And so she in here, she don't got this drug money from Kanan, so she thinks she winning now. She gonna come in here and quit. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to turn no tricks no more. Boss is like, word? Okay, that's how you feel? All right. And did you really think leaving up out of this YT lady house and leaving the door crack that wasn't a signal for her to know what was getting ready to happen?
That's what I said, man. I was like, you ought to think that people don't think that she didn't hear that door close and stuff like that. That her situational awareness,
Your own
uh,
house. Yeah, in your own
yeah,
house.
in her
In your
own
own house.
house, like she
You
was
don't
on
hear your
high
door
alert.
closed. Exactly.
You hear the door close. You wait for the door close. I'm like, all right, I heard the door close.
Exactly.
You said nothing.
Right.
Nah, what you was thinking?
Exactly.
Maybe y'all can answer. I still didn't even understand why her and Kanan were setting up Flossie for Kanan to unalive her. Like, I
Because
just didn't
remember, Kanan told her that my mother working with her, it was a get back at Rock.
Yeah, because
okay,
of the
Yeah.
mother.
but it,
This is what I
you
want you
know
to do.
what?
I
But
want you to go
okay,
over the
it makes sense
Flossies.
because he didn't know what Breeze was doing with
Oh,
Hafiz
Cabriz
and
wasn't
all
with it.
them.
Yeah. But Jack finna tell you exactly what Kanan plan was. Go ahead, Jack.
This is what I want you to do, dear Rita. I want you to go over to Flossie's because she's working close with my mother. I want you to go over to Flossie. Then you're just gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna come in and then I'm gonna put her down. No worries about her, nothing. And then I'm gonna take care of you.
Sounds
Me,
exactly like
I'm nothing but the money you got right now, but I promise you, I will take care of you. Nothing to worry about. I'm gonna keep you safe. Don't worry about Uncle Marvin. Don't worry about none of that. You and me now.
this is crazy. I could actually see that.
That's the
scene
conversation.
being
And that was the
That's the
conversation.
conversation.
That was the conversation. That was the conversation that was had off camera. And yes, Jim Rock, his intention was to unalive Flossie. I mean, that's the reason why he pulled
Hmm.
the gap. That's why
Sure.
he comes in and and I think he closes the door. So again,
She
that
had
door
she
should have
got her
already been
unit so
closed.
fast though.
already been closed.
Hmm.
Exactly, that door should have already been closed. Now it's 5 minutes later, and the door is finally closing. Yeah, nah. Flossie was ready for that. She pulled a strap on him like,
And
you
she
lucky
got a
I
real
just wanted
murder
to
weapon
roll.
too, the six
Yeah,
shooter.
she
She's not there to play with.
Oh,
she's
dude,
not there to play.
good old fashioned wheel gun.
She's
38
not there to
Smith.
play. What I wish they would have shown us was how he got out of that.
I think they're gonna show that in the next episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Okay,
It's got
okay.
to pick up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Now
it's
they,
gonna
yeah,
pick
it
up.
got to start from there.
But I think we see Kanan again, don't we?
Yeah, we
No.
see Kanan again. You talking about after this?
Yeah.
Nah.
We don't
No.
see
Nah, this
him more after this scene.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
don't
don't
see
think we see
Kanan.
Kanan
Okay, okay.
in
So
that.
yeah, you're right then. It picks up from here
It
then.
got to
Okay.
pick up. It got to.
Okay, that's what
And that scenes right there is where I think Kanan's gonna tell Flossie, I was the one who gave that judge the hot dose
Mhm.
Oh
and all of
yes.
that stuff, and then that's what's gonna force Flossie to be like,
To
hey,
stop working
yo,
with Rock.
stop working with
Mhm.
Rock. He gonna tell
Yeah, because
it's gonna all come out.
he already told that that's his mother.
Mhm.
She's like, you gotta be kidding me. So all the rest of it gonna come out too. You right, Fresh.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's just gonna tell her like, yo, I was the
Man,
one.
Kanan, you so
and-
messy. You talk. Demarcus love to call Ratel a snitch. Kanan the one that be tell everything.
Oh, it is.
Telling.
Like that's what's and then that's what Flossie is gonna end up going back to what's her name? Kirsten. We might see her and then
And
that's
get
when-
confirmation.
and get confirmation. Cause he
Yeah.
gonna say, like, yo, I ran up on your worker and told her to tell her that I did this.
Yep.
And she covered it
And
up.
Rock lied to you about that and covered that up. Yep. Another mess that she covered up for Kanan that she should have just let came out. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. Big facts. Marvin, he ain't with the shit at all. Marvin ain't with the shit at all, but he told Rock earlier in the season that I'm loyal. And Marvin shows us that he loyal. Even when he not with the shit, he with the shit. Just like a good old Marvin. Marvin ready to go do some work. Why she felt the need to have to do this, I just don't understand why.
Pointless.
It's emotional. It was just pointless. It's emotional. It's acting off anger.
She ain't
mad right
stopping
now. She
nothing.
hurt. Her feelings hurt. Her feelings hurt right now because she ain't got nobody that's riding with her. Ain't nobody riding with her, and she ain't got no work right
Yeah,
now.
this
So
solves
that's what she's
nothing.
really pissed about.
This did nothing.
Did nothing but make it worse for you. He said, I don't
And
got
how
time
is
for
he?
this.
And how is he there lacking?
By himself. He lacking. All that security
No.
we don't see. All that security we don't see.
How is he there
all
lacking?
He ran
That
out the
part.
After the
back door.
threat.
Come on now.
After the
That part.
threat,
That part. After a threat that was
she threatened
literally
you. Then how are you just there lacking? That's crazy to me.
a couple hours
Nah,
later,
he-
you lacking. Slacking.
Door wide open.
Could have been
They
locked.
didn't think she was gonna slide on him.
What Stringer used to say, bro? Lock that door.
Lock that door.
Yeah.
Look, she spun. It felt like she spun the block. She waited till nightfall. She turned around and spun the block and came right back. Same clothes she had on when she left there. I ain't done with you. He said, I ain't got time for this. She's like, don't
She
worry. it
went
won't
took a
take long.
piss and grabbed her gat.
Exactly. She went
I feel
home real
like
quick,
she
got her
was going there for
silencer.
Hafiz, though. and not him, and just came across him. And
Nah, I think she was there for him because she knew Hafiz wouldn't be in the place like that. He wouldn't have been there. This little lady was at a restaurant
Yeah, it's
or
for
a bar
him.
or something.
He the plug anyway. They put him with the guy.
Yeah,
Right.
He the one who made the connection anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he was in there wiping cups.
Matter of fact, that's exactly right. Because remember, that's where she met him at. Because remember, he took her out back.
Took her
and
out
she
back.
got in the limo with Hafiz. Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. She said, "Ain't gonna take long," and he thought he was gonna run out the back alley
Rock the
and run
Grim
down
Reaper,
the street
boy.
and get away. I don't know what he thought he was getting ready to do, but Marvin put him down real quick. And Rock came out there like she was Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, with the wind blowing her hair back and her jacket back like a cape. And she came back there and pop, 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 pop.
Rock the Grim Reaper.
Batgirl.
I didn't
Black
expect
Widow.
to see Marvin.
Batgirl gone
in
wrong.
the alley.
Because he ran
made that
into him.
statement of how many wars he wanted to start. I thought he was just gonna be in the truck the entire time.
Nah, he wasn't gonna leave Rock out there by himself. Even though he didn't agree with it, he knew that he still had to get up and go. It's similar to that episode where Lou had to go and put down Scrappy's mom. He didn't want to do it, but he know he had to do it because he was doing it for the family. Even though he didn't want to. Same thing with D Wiz. He didn't want to do it personally, but he know he had to do it for the family. And this just made Rock's situation worse. And the fact that they left the body there too made the situation worse too. So it's just
Super sloppy.
super sloppy, just a mess. All right, and that was it for this week's episode. So let's get into next week's predictions. Stefano tells Hafiz that I've been wanting to put a bullet in the brother and the sister. Let me take care of this. And Hafiz is going to want his get back, of course. Or at the same time, he's also going to tell Stefano, see, this is why I didn't want to be bothered with y'all. I didn't want to get in the middle of all this. Now I've lost my right-hand man, whatever. I think it's going to be a combination of both in this conversation.
I would agree.
Because that look he has on his face, he going to want his get back for what happened to his guy. But at the same time, we wouldn't have been here if you didn't force me to do this deal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Stefano isn't afraid to unallow Rock now. No, he's acting on what he told Breeze last week. And that, you know what, how we're going to get rid of Rock is we're going to get rid of her protection. See, right now he can't make a move on Rock because she's still being protected by Pino. So his mission is to make it where Rock can no longer pay for that protection. So that they will give him permission to put Rock down. That's his ultimate goal right now. Who is Rock and Marvin meeting with here?
I thought maybe it was probably Stefano and them. Like,
Or is it
or
Kanan
Pino.
and Breeze? Or it could be Pino. It could be Floozy. Yep.
Oh, I forgot all about Floozy. I can't see the Floozy meeting them in a park. Yeah, I think it's either Stefano or it's Pino. I'm leaning more towards
I think it might be Pino.
Yeah. And she telling him exactly like, yo, what's like Pino's like, yo, I've been hearing this out in the streets. Like, yo, what the hell is going on? And that's what she telling him.
But would Pino be out in the park like that too? I feel like a made man, a crime boss like that. Usually those meetings don't occur outside. Those meetings happen within their own protection and safe house. Like them being out in the open like that, just don't feel like those characters would meet with them in such a way.
If it's not Pino, it's somebody who lack trust and they lack trust in each other.
Or a threat.
Or a threat, yep.
You know what, Dexter? That's a good theory too. It might be Snaps and Pops because we've seen them meet in parks before.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They like to meet in parks and stuff. Or maybe she's going to Snap and Pop and let them know that, yo, this situation with Kanan and Breeze is getting out of hand and y'all finna feel this. So maybe it's one of those type of conversations where I don't think it's a pleasant exchange that's getting ready to happen. Is Rock making another threat? Because at first I thought she was going to them to ask them for some work, but if she's going to meet with Snap and Pop, then she's going to let them know that she's not satisfied with what Breeze and Kanan out here doing to her business.
That's true.
Okay, because if she wanted to meet with Pino, that would be at the club, the country club.
Yeah.
The same thing with Stefano, it'll be at the restaurant. So I just can't see them meeting them. It's Snap and Pop. I agree with that. Now, this could be Rock having a conversation with Pino. Look, she's having a conversation with Pino here. and letting Pino know the outcome or what's happened, that Stefano has taken out all my suppliers. Now, what's the better question to ask here is, does Pino fire her at this point? Tell her to get her Tootsie Roll back to Queens, that she's
No,
out of Manhattan.
he's not.
He may stand behind her because remember, he shocked us the last time when he stood behind her, so he might stand behind her still.
Because
I
he's
think he's gonna stand
disrespected in
behind
this moment too.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why I
And
think he's gonna stand behind her.
and he
If he
warned
fires,
Stefano about that too.
Mm-hmm.
if he fires her, then basically in the grand scheme of things, he believes Stefano. But he's already told Stefano, like, stay on the other side of the bridge.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So all this could be what backs back up on Stefano this week. So even though we want Breeze to be the one to take Stefano out, maybe this is what backs back up on Stefano and forces Pino to go ahead and deal with his Stefano problem once and for all, if he decides to stand by her. What these two minions up to?
I think this is just more than nothing. I think it's just more than like it's nothing. It's just they move and work. Like,
Noise. Just
yeah.
noise.
We like that at the warehouse anyway.
Just noise. I see a little Ford Taurus in the background, or either it's Kanan still pushing Breeze to we gotta take a hit at my mother and my Uncle Marvin. Maybe it's Kanan still soliciting this war that he wants to incite between his mom and, or is this after the conversation has been had with Jukebox about Bonnie and Clyde, or is this Kanan having a conversation with Breeze about Bonnie and Clyde? Because remember, in the trailer, Breeze does say that you got to earn their trust or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like that's when they're gonna start pushing Hafiz's work.
Or how they're gonna push Hafiz's work, yeah. No, I don't think Floozy gonna be dead. Floozy's not gonna be unalive. Nah. What sparks the shootout between Breeze and Marvin? Because you know that's who it is. It's Breeze and Marvin having a shootout. So what is this? Is this them?
Do them backgrounds match up though, bro? I think they trying to throw us off.
They look like they match up.
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro.
They might be trying to throw us off.
I mean, you're right, Bobby.
Because there's another scene where I think it's not. It might be Kanan. That might be it. Because if you go back in the trailer, I can't remember which trailer. I'm almost sure that Breeze and them roll up on Marvin and like they try to take him out. The question is why he would be trying to take him out, but I think it's just more so just because it's like, yo, you interrupting our business. Or just because
we gotta get rid of you once and for all.
Yeah, or it could be vice versa, where like Marvin is going to interrupt their business since he knows that Kanan was the one that took out Lou. So he like, yo, I'm about to get ready to come up and roll up on y'all and take out y'all, take out the business. But Bobby might be right. It might not be the same, but I just feel like it's almost the same because it's dark and they're almost like the exact same background. Like he just on one side and Breeze is on the other.
Jamrock says he thinks that Marvin is Marvino. Lionel Marvino. Jamrock thinks that Marvin is taking a shot at Stefano's people. That could be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when those picks drop tomorrow. We'll have a better insight on our predictions video on what's happening right here when we see the rest of the pictures drop for episode 7. Yep. And keep in mind, this is episode 7, the episode next to the last. We got to go ahead and move forward. We got to move. We got to accelerate a lot of this stuff too. So it could be Marvin and Breeze having a shootout, because the little comment he makes afterwards, "What are you running for? We was having fun." So to me, it could be that he overwhelms Marvin too, and Marvin got to retreat. because look what he shooting, look what he popping off, and look what Marvin popping off.
M16.
Exactly.
The exact same thing. M16. He got a whole M16.
I wish they would have did better with that because that's actually the same prop Marvin used when Sally bust in on their operation in the projects. That is the exact same gun.
Yep.
I was about to say,
Same
didn't he
prop.
use the
Calling y'all
M16 to
out,
take out?
stars.
Didn't he use
You
the
said what, bro?
M16 to shoot at Unique?
He did
Nope,
use
that
it.
was a Draco he used at Neat.
Okay.
Oh, talking about when he was at the movie theater and he was in the van.
That was in the van. Yeah, that was a Draco.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, this same gun, it jammed on him when he used it against Sal boys.
Mm-hmm.
When old boy in the wheelchair saved him. Where he at? Why we don't get no tie into that? I just thought about that.
Yeah. Nothing.
They need soldiers bad.
Not even mentioned. Not even mentioned. Right. He should have been someone that he actually should have been a friend for Marvin. Not
Ace in the
even a
hole.
worker. Not even a worker on some
Well.
on some friend type shit because they develop a relationship. They started off combative with each other, but he ended up showing up for Marvin. He helped Marvin on a few capers. He took Marvin in when he was injured. So he should have been a
Demo,
character.
right?
Demo, ain't it?
Demo.
Yeah, Demo.
Mhm.
He should have been a character that we see Marvin go back to for advice or go back to as a springboard. That's a good point, Bobby. That's a real good point. We should have seen something else from that character throughout the series. All right, y'all got to help me out with this. How we haven't seen Snap and Pop in a minute. How do we get them brought back into the story?
They had Baptiste's funeral.
Nah, that would be too.
I thought about that too, but based on the way they dress, I wondered if they were going to Captain Baptiste's funeral, but they don't give a fuck about that, and they wouldn't be seen at a police chief's funeral.
Yeah, that'd look bad.
I feel
That's
like
a bad look for them.
if it's not Juke that they see, maybe it's like,
or somebody walks up to them. So maybe this is that scene. Maybe this is where Rock and Marvin walks up to them. They're coming out of their restaurant. Marvin and Rock walk up to them and say, "Yo, Snap and Pop, I need a word with you," because it looks like they were getting ready to get into their car and go, and somebody catches them off guard and gets their attention. So it looks like
unless Garcia pulled up.
Ooh.
Unless Garcia pulled up.
That's a good one.
Good one.
That's a damn good one.
That's a real good one, Jack.
Garcia. That's a good one.
Either way, it's someone grabbing their attention.
Yeah.
It's someone calling.
It's the Doublemint twins.
Yep. This is the conversation where Breeze and Kanan are having about Bonnie and Clyde. I don't understand what they're going to give us next week with their story. Again, maybe I'll get better insights once I see the pictures drop, but I just don't understand how they're going to bring them back into the story without some of their dirty laundry coming out. Like, I think we're going to find out more about Bonnie and Clyde in this episode with them. This is where Breeze is telling Kanan about what he got to do to earn Bonnie and Clyde's trust. I feel like, shouldn't he already have that? This is where Kanan is continue on this witch hunt of his, because I don't know if he's had the conversation with Juke yet about Snap and Pop being the reason that Snap Famous is gone, but it seems like Kanan should have something click in his head unless Marvin knocked loose everything that was in his head on that beating. But if Juke goes to Kanan and tells Kanan that Bonnie and Clyde put Famous down, he should automatically know that they also put a battery in his back about Crystal, because it was Bonnie and Clyde that told Kanan that your mom was the one that put Famous down. Your mom was the one that put Crystal down. He should automatically, all that should click for him that, damn, they've been playing me.
Now that you said that, bro, it might actually be Kanan that rolled up on Snaps and Pop, because he finds that out from Juke when they in the pizzeria. Because there's a scene where she talks to him
in the pizzeria, and she tells him that it was Bonnie and Clyde that put Famous down.
He might roll up, because remember, we saw before how he rolled up to Snaps and Pop with Ronnie and them, where he react off of emotion. So it might be actually him that rolls up on Snaps and Pop.
Okay. Like I said, just by their facial expression right here, they're being caught off guard. Someone is calling their name out. Somebody walking up on them and yo, snap, yo, pop. I need to holler at you for a minute. It's that type of situation. All right, so we just pieced that together. This is the scene that you're talking about right here at the pizzeria where Juke asks Kanan for help. Do you not care that they're the ones that put our boy down? Like you're not gonna ride for that? I think Kanan's gonna initially say no, he don't want nothing to do with it. Initially, I think Kanan's gonna say, I don't care. I think that
it's a lie.
I think that after Aisha comes and visits him and tells him that Juke finna go out here on some solo mission, do something stupid, I think that's when he's gonna step in and get involved. But I think initially he's gonna be the I don't care Kanan right here in this moment at the pizzeria. It's not until we see Juke loading up the Thule. She getting ready to go do a banger. I don't know who she getting out the car with here. I couldn't tell who the driver was that she was getting out the car with here. Or is this Juke running up on Snap and Pop?
It could be. I feel like I want to feel like it's Juke running up on Snap and Pop, but then at the same time I'm like, yo, it's too easy.
Yeah,
like,
she ain't better get them like that.
The way they do it. Yeah, you know how they put the trailers together, so I feel like it's too easy that it would be her running up on them. Like
not like this anyway.
Yeah, not like that.
Not like this.
Because remember, she was going to take out Garcia in the dark. So for her,
and this is not how Juke move. This is a Kanan move right here. This is not a Juke move right here. So I agree.
So it might just be maybe she going to Fame's where he got unalived at and just trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Who is this Rock sitting down with?
I have no clue. I've been trying to figure that out.
No idea.
Somebody Pino put in tune with.
Or somebody she trying to get some work out of.
Mm-hmm. I've been trying to figure it out. I watched that trailer at least about a good 5 times and just try to figure out who this person was. I even slowed it down and watched it in slow motion and still couldn't figure it out.
We'll get it tomorrow when them pictures drop. Maybe has something to do with I can't even tell where she's at either. I can't tell where this conversation is taking place at either. Is Rock out here trying to do what Rock do, trying to get back up on her feet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Jam Rock. I like this, Jam Rock. Jam Rock just answered the question for us. Is this Breeze pill supplier? No, I'm going to say no, but that was a real good one. I'm going to say no because that dude had a bald head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a bald head, but that was a real good one, Jam Rock. Was it Breeze pill supplier? Okay. Or is this Rock trying to do something to get back at Kanan again?
Could be. But I think it's more so like now she's just trying to find a supply. So it might be a new character.
On the last 2 episodes of the show, really?
Hey, we done seen it, so who knows?
Nah, Jam Rock, that was a real good one. I like that. That would have been dope if that's who that really was. And she was trying to get some work out of the pill supplier. That would have been dope if that's who that was. But that guy had a bald head. And I don't know, did he survive that beating that Kanan and Breeze put on him either?
He did. We just didn't see it.
I don't know. This Juke saying goodbye to her father. This is Juke saying goodbye to her father.
I thought this scene was going to be before she went to go take out Snaps and Pop.
Could be. But remember, we have a scene where Marvin is sitting down, loading up all his straps. So maybe he tell Juke, it's a possibility I might not be coming back home, baby. Hold it down. Take care of Amber. Like he might be saying his final goodbye to her in anticipation of thinking that he's not going to come back home.
I thought it was more so that scene where we see Juke load up the strap that Marvin gave her, and he walk in on her and like, yo, like he tried to talk her out or whatever she about to do, and then just have a heart-to-heart moment. But
she got tears in her eyes right here.
Yeah, so yours make a whole lot more sense.
She got tears in her eyes, so it's like whatever Marvin says to her right now upsets her. And the only thing I can think of is him telling her that, baby, I might not make it back home. And you might be right. That both could be the same. He could be giving her a strap too in the scene. Say, look, I need you to be strapped out here. We at war with Kanan and Breeze right now. some wild, we at war with the Afghans right now. Some wild shit could be happening. I need you to be safe out here because I might not be coming back. So,
or what if this is Juke telling Marvin that she found out that Snappy Pop took out Fame and she want revenge and he's trying to talk her out of it.
that's a good one too. I like that one too. Marvin, I think this should match up to the other scene that we saw him shooting. I think this is before that. I think this scene is before.
Looks like the same attire.
Yeah, it looks like the same attire.
I think it's after.
I think it's before this. Because it looked like he's staking out this house. This looks like a house in the background. So I'm kind of going with Bobby now. Is this the same background? Because this looks like Breeze is at like a warehouse or something like here. And this looks like Marvin outside somebody's house. It just looks, I see the cars and stuff in the background. I don't know. But then you have cars in the background here too.
No, but that one scene with Breeze with the M16, I think Jamrock mentioned that those are like shipment containers. So that may be some kind of warehouse. That may be two different incidents.
Or are they rolling up on Breeze and during a re-up to try to rob them for their work?
That ain't gonna work.
Since Rock and Marvin don't got no work right now, is that the reason why they're there and having to shoot out at that location? Is maybe Rock and maybe Rock comes up with a foolish plan to go try to infiltrate their work, not realizing that Breeze go and pick up his own work himself. You know, maybe they were trying to infiltrate his re-up with the Afghans to steal it.
But the only reason why I think this is after, because also in the same trailer, you see, well, this could be before, and then because there's another scene in that trailer where Marv has a scratch on the top above his eyebrow.
Yeah.
So it could be afterwards.
Okay, never mind. Scratch that. This is him sitting down with Rock. This is him at Rock House. Look at the background. He's inside instead of outside. This him at Rock Place. Rock, quit going back to that house. You ain't safe there. Rock, we need to get you somewhere else.
Oh, bro, it's funny you say that. She's not safe at that house.
She never been.
That house is gonna get burned down.
She never been safe there at that fucking house, yo.
It's always been a theory.
Yes.
It's always been a theory that that's the same house that Jukebox brought Tariq to back in OG.
And that's and I've said this so many times. It should have been. If they would have known then that it would have been dude raising Kanan, it absolutely should have been. That house that Juke took Tariq to, absolutely should have been Rock's house. Fully agreed. And they're probably going to retcon it where it was.
Yep.
That would have made so much sense because back in OG Power, we were trying to figure out then why she took him to an abandoned house in Queens. Like, that would have been perfect for that to have been Rock's place. Yep. Rock need to get out of the house. She ain't safe there. Everybody done been there to Rock House to unalive her. Okay, this is the infamous scene. We've had so many discussions about this where we feel like Kanan is standing over Marvin's unalive body. Kanan's at the church and unalive Marvin at the church. I've seen heard so many thoughts, so many things here. All right, is this him putting Snap down? I'm going to say this is him putting Snap down.
I'm going to agree.
I would agree, but I don't think it's in the church. I think this might just be. I'm with you. I'm with you, Retro. I gotta wait till the pick drop, and then I can make my predictions from that.
I agree. I don't know about a church, but
it looks like a church to me, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Does look like a church in the background, but that's not to say that Snap and Pop not hiding out in the church either. I mean, we've seen that where people go and hide out in a church and think that they're safe there. Look what Diamond and Jannard did back and forth. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this doesn't necessarily mean that he's infiltrating Marvin at the church, but it just feels like whoever he's standing over is like his comment, based off of his facial expression here. If it was me writing for the character, I would have the character say something like, "Oh, you thought you were going to play me," or I finally found out the truth. It just seems like a confirmation unaliving here. It feels like a justified unaliving right here. Like, yeah, I got my get back.
Well, I don't think it's Marvin because Marvin found comfort in Floozy talking to her rather than the pastor.
And we haven't seen him go back to the pastor, so there's no need for him to go back to the pastor. If they have him go back to the pastor in this episode right here, I would be pissed. Right, he's now moved that confessional discussions over to Floozy versus going back to the pastor, so there's no point of seeing Marvin back at that church again.
Yeah, another reason why I feel like it's not the church, because we saw that quick screenshot when he was putting down what was Bree's right hand man? Taz. Yeah.
Taz.
Like, we barely saw like the background. Like, all we saw was like a quick glimpse. So I kind of feel like this is not the church, but it could be. But I just think, like, I think they want us to believe that it's the church.
But keep in mind, in the season trailer, not the episode trailer for next week's episode, but in the season trailer, we see this scene particularly right here in the season trailer. And we also see one where Kanan is standing over what looks like to be a coffin. I'm wondering if all this is in the same episode, or is this in episode 7 and 8? But those are two scenes from the season trailer we have yet to see. So one of them we see in this week's episode coming up, and I'm assuming the last one where it looks like he's standing over a coffin happens in episode 8. So this is either Marvin or this is either Snap, is my first thought prediction.
I'm gonna go back and watch the season trailer.
Yeah, go back and watch the season trailer. In the season trailer, and I wish I would have queued the picture up for it because I had pulled them earlier, but I forgot to queue them up in here. I wish I would have queued them up because I was trying to tie his attire in both of those scenes to see if it was the same week. This one looks like he's got on, looks like a black jacket and a hoodie. And the one that I'm talking about where he's standing over where appears to be a coffin, or standing over looking down at someone's body that appears to be flowers in the background, like at a church or at a funeral home. He has on his black North Face jacket.
It could be the dude.
Bob, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The dude he just put down?
Who he just put down?
The worker.
Crank.
Yeah, it could be Crank.
That nigga ain't showing up for his.
I mean, I would hope it's not, but I'm just thinking like, yo, it might be like he goes there because he realizes like, yo, I put him down for nothing, or whatnot.
Damn, he went to Crank funeral right after putting him down. That's
well, he went to his uncle. He went to his uncle funeral after putting him down.
That's facts.
All right, so we are wrapping up this week's episode. It was an overall good episode. We're going down to the wire where it's the last 2 episodes of the season, so you know we gotta push a lot of these stories forward. Any other predictions y'all have for next week?
I gotta see the pictures
gotta see the pictures.
Yeah, I gotta see the pictures, man.
Gotta see them pictures.
Like I said, this one we was 4 for 4. Wendy's meal, 4 for 4.
Yep.
But I gotta definitely see the pictures now. Once I see the pictures, then I could definitely be like, but I'm definitely gonna watch the season trailer after this.
Yep. All right, y'all. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up this week's episode. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way out, share the video out, hype the video up, and drop y'all comments, and hit the early predictions video that dropped tomorrow, as long as Stars drop the pictures tomorrow. Hit those comments up so we can continue these discussions, because we're going to put our thoughts out there on what we think is going to happen for episode 7 once those pictures drop, and we'll see who's right.
For sure.
All right, fellas, any last minute housekeeping?
Oh, I'm all good. I just want to see the
Stefano out of there next week.
Stefano out of here next week.
Period.
Stefano out of here next week, and the fate of Marvin happens next week.
I agree. I would definitely agree with the fate of Marvin for next week.
Whether it's death or jail,
it
happens next week.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And we got to prepare ourselves for that. Bob, you got to prepare yourself for that. I know that's one of your favorite characters.
Man.
We got to prepare ourselves to say goodbye to Marvin next week.
No, you don't.
I think we do. At least we got to prepare ourselves for if it's not death. If he is going to jail, he gets arrested next week.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All right, Jack, you got anything? You still there, bro?
Yeah, here. I'm still here. I don't have nothing. Just waiting till the pictures drop and go from there.
All right. So for those of you who are watching X-Men 97 with us, we're behind on last week's review. So come back tomorrow. Check me and OG Bobby out tomorrow for our episode 6 review for X-Men 97. And catch up with us on Wednesday, Thursday for next week's episode. We have not decided yet on whether or not we're going to be reviewing Fightland. We will watch it, and if we like it, we will review it. We're set up to review it, but we have not decided yet if we are going to review Fightland yet. We'll check it out and see what the fellas think about it. Other than that, catch us in our next video.